Hello everybody, welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob.
I'm Mel.
And we're here to have a casual question and answer session and just chat about general things, channel related, tabletop gaming related, for those that care what we think or who want to ask questions that maybe you wouldn't ask in a playthrough that could derail the stream and be completely off topic. Those are the kind of things we can discuss today. And we'll be here for a couple hours answering questions. And we are going to try something new today, and I'll explain this later after some people who are late stragglers show up. They can ask questions through a new feature in YouTube, which I'm going to try today, which is the YouTube Q&A feature, which I got messages about, I think like a month ago or so, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a Q&A. We're going to try this feature out. Well, today is that Q&A. Today's Q&A, the reason is because I haven't done one since the summer. It's been a few months since we hit like 15K, since Gen Con we did a Q&A. There was two we did in the summer. And I don't do that often, but here's one. And of course we have to do our annual one from when we escape to our winter mansion cabin, which should happen in soon, right?
Yep.
Like a month maybe or whatever.
Yep.
I don't know what day it is. But anyways, yeah, so we're going to try that feature out today. So we're not going to do it the same way we normally do with just random questions all in the chat and I'm trying to find them and I'm lost. We're going to try this feature out. Maybe it sucks. Maybe it's good. Maybe it works for people. Maybe it doesn't. We're just going to try it out today. So we'll take questions later in a little bit. We'll let everyone show up, kind of roll in. And the only questions I will answer are ones that are submitted through the Q&A tool that is in the live YouTube chat, which isn't there yet. It will show up when I activate it, which will open a Q&A session. You'll be able to submit your questions through a prompt and you'll be able to type them in. I'll be able to see them. I don't think anyone else in the chat does.
No.
I don't think.
I don't think so.
You've done it?
No, but
okay. I haven't done it either, so we'll find out.
We don't think so.
Yeah, we don't think so. But I didn't know if you were trying it out or seen someone else's, but the questions, I'll be able to see them on my end. And I'll be able to select the ones I'm answering and they'll show up for you guys which question I'm answering. So even people who come in the middle of a question, they will know what I'm answering. Normally we have it just on the screen above us here. As you can see, there's a little area for it. But I'm not going to use that today. I'm going to try this new feature before I hate on it or don't decide not to use it. I just want to try it out. So we're going to use it today. And yeah, we'll see how it goes.
It should be easier for you to find questions.
Yeah, I just didn't want to try it out during like our holiday stream either, like our normal Q&A that we do at the end of the year, because like I don't want to fiddle with that and other stuff that we're doing. But yeah, so we'll see if this works out. We may use this going forward, but we'll try that out today. Plus, I was getting hounded in streams recently too about not hounded, but it always comes up in streams where someone's like, I have these questions. Sometimes I see them and I ignore them, or I'll say I'll answer that later. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I've already derailed on a Rob rant or a side conversation, or we're, having time hanging out in the stream, just chatting about stuff. But today's is for, like, we can chat about whatever, and it doesn't matter. We're not interrupting a playthrough. We're not pissing someone off who's like, I want to learn how to play this game. And I click on the stream, and Rob's just in there for 20 minutes in the middle of taking a turn, ranting about a game not including a bag. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, that still should happen because that's game related, but it's not relevant.
But maybe not relevant to that game.
Yeah, it's not relevant to that game, I should say. Yeah, like when I'm playing like a miniature game and someone comes in and starts asking me about an LCG and like which one should they buy and all that kind of stuff. It's like, what? Mm-hmm. Or like Mr. Gautier in the chat's famous for coming in our streams and just asking about completely random games. That's Daniel's MO, and I know it is. He's right there. But yeah, Daniel's known for just coming in the chat and going, hey man, did you play this game? Did you get this game? Have you seen this game? It's like, what? We're here playing this game. What are you talking about? But it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes I can talk about that stuff after the stream if we have time to kill, or even before the stream starts. But today, we have none of those restrictions.
That is the stream.
That is the stream.
That is what this is.
So that's what these are. So yeah. So.
Two things I just want to quickly highlight. I just want to say hi to Erica. Erica has gone for a little while.
No, we don't say hi to Erica.
She is back, and I just want to know, Erica, how is the mom life?
Oh God, yes,
we've missed you.
Yeah,
we've missed you.
It's good to see you're alive and you haven't gone completely insane.
It's a lot, so we're happy that you're back.
Yes, hello, Erica.
And then Jacob is saying, testing to see if my name is green, that I am a patron. Now that I'm a patron.
No, Jacob, no.
I just wanted to highlight that because
YouTube, it doesn't link with pay. There's no connection between YouTube and Patreon really, other than you can post YouTube videos on Patreon. The reason why people have different names and little dice beside their names is because they click the join button down below and support us through YouTube. That is a YouTube only feature. It is not integrated with any other websites or services. That is a YouTube only thing. So if you want to get that, you support us through YouTube instead, or in addition to Patreon, which some people do, by clicking either, I think there's a link I put in the video description, because the join button wasn't available on all platforms before. So you could click that if like you're on a device and you can't see the join button. But if you really want that, click the join button down below and become a member through YouTube. That's the way to get that. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no way. Like, I wish I could have just added that for people who are on Patreon, but I have no control over that. It's not a feature I have access to just change people's name colors and add stuff like that. So just to be clear, all those people in the chat, they're supporting us through YouTube. And some of them are crazies and they're doing it also through Patreon. But I am going to try to fix that and add some different tiers on YouTube. So those that want to just support through one thing and donate more, they can do it just through YouTube. At a higher level or whatever.
And I guess then Daniel's question is, does joining cut out some ads when rewatching the old streams? Unfortunately, no. No,
YouTube, the only way to avoid ads through official means on YouTube is to become a YouTube Premium member, which is like a subscription through YouTube. So if you look up what YouTube Premium is, which used to be called YouTube Red, and that does help the channel. If you're watching my channel as a YouTube Premium member, I actually do gain more ad revenue from you watching than I would from a free user just watching ads or skipping ads on the channel, is supposedly what they're doing. So YouTube tells me to promote that, but I don't bother. I don't care. If you want to avoid ads on YouTube all around, like, it gets rid of YouTube's on ads on every channel. And then the channels you're actually watching, they get rewarded more that you're watching them than if you were just even click on the ads during their streams and stuff, or watch full ads. You actually generate more money for your favorite creators by just being a YouTube Premium member. Again, I don't know the behind the scenes data if that's 100% true, but I do see some on the back end, and I do get, like, compared to ad revenue, there is quite a bit that I do gain compared to that from, it shows like a YouTube Premium column of viewers and how many watch minutes and that kind of stuff, like, helps the channel. So they show me that because they're trying to get their YouTube content creators to promote that, right? But I'm like, they need to promote it. They have all the tools to get up in your face and prompt you when you're on YouTube and stuff and play ads advertising themselves. So like, I don't need to do that for them. But somebody asked about that recently, if becoming premium helped the channel. So it does for sure. But that's up to you. That is up to you. Yeah. And it depends for you. Some YouTube Premium, you got to remember Matthew saying, I love YouTube Premium. I think it's worth it. You got to remember, Matthew, any Google service is not apples to apples in all countries, okay? So in Canada, what we get for YouTube Premium may be different than what you get in the US for YouTube Premium, or in other countries. They might not even have YouTube Premium. They might not have all the same rewards for it. YouTube or Google in general rolls out services globally at a different rate and offers different things, especially with related to like adding in music and stuff. There's different copyright and licensing holders with media, like video, TV, movies, all that. It's different in every country because every country has different license holders and stuff that they have to work with. So it's like not the same across the board. So I'm saying YouTube Premium, it obviously is like a YouTube thing in the US first. Like, we didn't even have YouTube Premium forever in Canada. It wasn't even an option, which is weird, but eventually they added it. And then the music library and stuff they had was like not even close to what the US equivalent had. And things like that. So just keep that in mind. Generally, it may not be worth it for somebody if YouTube Premium is not as good or offering as much for the same price. But I would assume they would scale the price based on not having the same things offered. But do your research based on your country. We are on the internet. It is a global thing. So just want to clear up those blanket statements. And yeah.
Dan's been loving your blue shirt today.
Dan, I put this on just for you. I'm actually just put it on for the stream. I am going to change out of it later. I can only stream for a couple hours, so I have a timer going. But I put on this blue shirt just for you today, since I saw your question in the Discord. But I will be changing out of it because we do have to go to our daughter's future high school for some meetings and presentations and stuff to check it out to see which high school we should send her to or whatever. So I'm not going there in this bright blue shirt. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I have to put on something a little more serious. Come on. But anyways, Yogi has been a member for 2 months, but has done more for this channel than probably almost everybody, in many ways than just monetary. It says we're through group stage. Through group stage. Am I reading that right?
Yeah.
I see koalas. It's something related to Australia. I'm assuming it's World Cup related. I'm not familiar with all the terms of international football, aka soccer. I used to ref soccer, but that was when I was a teenager. But I don't really watch soccer or play soccer or follow the World Cup or anything like that, if that's related to that. I think. Okay, yeah. Not really huge into sports anymore. I used to be more into sports growing up and in high school and stuff, playing them and watching them, and friends that were obsessed with them, and waking up in the morning watching the sports highlights from the night before. But other hobbies have just taken up time in my life that I just don't have time to spread amongst all hobbies, and some just had to be cut. So sports, the business of sports just kind of fell by the wayside. So yeah.
But congratulations.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Congrats, Yogi
to your favorite
team. And Team Aussie. So Ray of Shine, a member for 11 months. Thank you for the 11 months of support. Much appreciated. Says,
sorry. Go ahead.
Love the stream. Can't always catch them, but I like to rewatch all that I can. Thank you so much. I appreciate just watching. I don't care if you watch it live or later. It's all good. No worries.
Almost at that gold die. Thank you so much. Wow.
That's awesome. Thank you. I'm actually going to just move. Oh, where is it? Just going to put the alert thing like up higher. Since we're not popping the chat on the screen, I think that I'm just going to repop that one just to make sure it's in there. That way the text, you can see it. It's not on our face and stuff. But yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you.
11 months. Wow.
Okay. So Daniel, I don't know if you tune in like a few minutes late, but we're going to open the Q&A in a few minutes, and we're going to do it through the YouTube chat, but it's a feature where you submit your questions, and they aren't going to be from the chat. I'm not answering any questions in the chat through the normal means today. We're trying out a feature on YouTube that is available, and we're going to see how it goes. It's like pure test. Pure test.
I think he's also joking with his question as well.
No, it's serious. I can tell. It's super serious questions.
Whoa.
Brian Van Beek.
20 months.
One of our 63 Brians that support the channel. I'm just joking. There was a thing in Discord earlier. It's like there's not really that many Brians, but I should look at some of those questions actually because they were funny.
They were funny, yes.
Yeah, we'll go through some of those to kill some time while others show up. But Brian's been a member for 20 months. Thank you for the support.
Brian, wow.
Through YouTube. So you got to understand, this is only showing me the YouTube support. Some of these awesome people have been supporting the channel longer through like Patreon before YouTube even made available memberships to us to even use on the channel, which is neat.
Did you read the message?
No, I'm just reading his other comment and was like, oh, did you say? Okay, no. I subscribe to make sure Mel doesn't have to get a second job to support Rob's job. Okay, listen.
No, we're good. One job is enough.
Again. Thank you for the support, Brian.
20 months, wow.
Yeah. I watched some videos. I probably talked about this before, but I definitely watched some videos about becoming a streamer. And even to this day, I still listen when I'm watching other streamers in other industries and stuff, or watching videos on how to improve your stream and all this kind of stuff. But I always listen for tips and stuff. But one thing that I see people ask all the time on streams is like, hey, I'm a new streamer. Like, what should I, worry about? But it's like, somebody one time I was watching like a video of a stream setup, and somebody's question was like, hey, what is one tip you would give to somebody starting out streaming? And I still pay attention to those because it's like, hey, like I'm not exactly like setting records over here, I'm just grinding.
Mm-hmm.
But the tip was ignore all the haters. You will have family, friends, viewers, loved ones, acquaintances that will not respect what you do and not consider it a job because they're stuck in like an old world and don't understand there's change, right? Like not everyone nowadays is like a 9-to-5 farmer working in a steel factory, right? Things evolve, new jobs get created, new industries get created, especially with technology. So just understand that you will have hate from people who will laugh at you, not respect what you do, and not consider it a job. And I know Brian is just joking, but he is mentioning that, and that reminded me of that tip. And that's something I want to pay forward when people ask me about streaming. It's like, that's another thing now I've put in the bank of like saying like, You know, people will laugh and go, he quit his job. Now he doesn't have a job, like not a career. I went through that too. I still go through that. I still have people that don't think I'm working, who come at me like, hey, I have a job offer. You want to come back to work? I'm like, dude, I work.
I have a job.
I have a job and I'm having fun doing it. Like, I couldn't say that before. But yeah. So can you farm? I'm not Daniel. Stop. I'm not answering questions in the chat. I told you. No. I said farmer work or working in a steel factory. You know, like these old jobs. You know, like woman stayed at home, man went to factory work, came home. You know, 9 to 5, all this stuff. None of that, like, you know, the world evolved. Like things change, right?
Yep.
You know, things change. Jobs get created. Industries get created, and streaming is definitely a growing industry, especially COVID, lockdowns, internets, computers in your pocket, aka smartphones. Like all this stuff just made that a thing, you know?
Do you find though that you're getting that less and less the longer that you do it? Because then people are like, oh, he's still doing it.
No, I'm just assuming I'm not hearing it. They're just saying it behind my back. But yeah, I don't know. It just happens. I know it's a thing. It's fine. Because some people are just old fashioned. They don't understand change. They're not open to change. They think their way is the way, kind of thing. But yeah, anyways, just thought I'd throw that out there. I heard that like a couple weeks ago, thought of it, and Brian reminded me of it. But yeah, that's a funny thing. So yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yes, exactly right, Daniel. Also understand that it's a slow burn. You're not going to blow up overnight. Yeah.
There are some that get lucky though. But that's the problem. The lucky ones is who people look up to and go, oh, that streamer like blew up. I want to do that. But it's like that person came in at the right time, made the right viral video or whatever it is, you know, got lucky or tried something different and caught lightning in a bottle, you know. But in majority, it's a grind. You start from zero and you might be at zero for a long time. It's a thing. I know, slow grow over here, and I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. But I appreciate the support. Like it just, like it's been awesome. And thank you for allowing me to keep doing this, of course, which I will reiterate later in the stream, I'm sure, at the end. But yeah. Bob's been a member for only 2 months. Bob, you've only been supporting the channel for 2 months.
But his message clarifies.
I'm just joking. Bob says, and about 20 months on the archaic Patreon system. Hate those haters right back. 9 to 5ers need to check their privilege, says Man of Leisure. Yes.
Thank you.
Bob being retired, he's chilling. Yes. He likes it. It's all good.
Love it.
Yeah. Element only says, don't you make less than your job did though? See, I shouldn't be answering these questions, but well, of course. That's why people are supporting me right now through the chats or become members and stuff. That's the only way that made this possible, right? The only way that made this possible. But you have to understand there's a you start looking. Oh, new subscriber. Jelamar, thank you so much for subscribing.
And Edward
became a Patreon. Or producer, sorry. Edward became a producer, which did that pop?
Yeah, it did, but it was when you were talking, but it's his 1 month message.
Happy to see you guys at the Uncommons Gaming Cafe in NYC. Is this where this is?
Is this where this is?
I was going to ask this last time we used this as a background. I got this off Google, and I was going to wait and see if somebody came in and said, that's my gaming store. But I was like, man, we have such a small audience. What are the likelihoods that somebody points this out as their gaming store? And I just kind of waited. And I think of it every time I set it up as a background. I go, I wonder, because you see the address there. You can see the 230 on purpose. Like I thought it was cool. So yes, we are hanging out right now at the Uncommons Gaming Cafe in NYC. So free plug for them. If you want to come meet us, come down right now. We're sitting here in their cafe. I'm just kidding. It's completely empty, as you see. Nobody hangs out here. It's dead. But yeah, this is just a random picture of a board game cafe I grabbed on Google like months and months ago.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was cool. It looked cool. It reminded me of some board game stores we've been in, some cafes we've been in. It's kind of small. But you definitely know what it is by just looking at it. And I kind of blurred it out a little bit, you know, just like, you know, but there you go. There you go. And Edward came in and was like, yep, I know where that is. That's awesome. I had no idea. No idea. That's cool.
Yogi, thank you so much.
Yogi just gifted 10 memberships to the channel. Thank you, Yogi. You do too much. You don't need to do that. I'm telling you. But I appreciate it. I do. Okay, maybe you do need to do it, but others need to do it, not you. You've done it too much. Okay. All right.
Yogi, thank you so much.
But thank you for gifting some memberships to those on the channel. Anyone who just got a gifted membership, if you're here, make sure you thank Yogi for that. Much appreciated. Get you a little die by your name. Could get you access to the Discord if you link up your Discord with your YouTube, where you can chat with other producers and supporters of the channel and us. So yeah, if you want to continue that support, you can do that through YouTube. But yeah, it'll give you a month, I believe, a month of free membership. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yogi the Christmas elf, sister. Yogi, you do too much, man. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I need to probably not have it play out of this speaker. I thought I had it set to play out of the other one.
Why is it echo or something?
Well, maybe it's not getting picked up in the mic. I just worry about it echoing because we can hear it's kind of loud. Maybe I should turn it down. Maybe that will just fix it.
We will be heading to our cottage later in December.
Yeah, we'll do that around like the holidays, like the end of the year. Yeah.
Cabin.
I don't know if we'll do it before or after, whatever works with like what games we're playing and like when Mel's off and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll fit that in there. As we do. It's tradition. Got to keep that tradition going. That's a fun one. Everyone's all cheery. I love that time of year. Everyone's all cheery, having a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's a poll in the chat, which I did for fun while I was waiting for the chat to start. I'm gonna end that poll. Thank you all like 60 people that voted on that poll. That's fun. That's fun.
60 people voted on it, but I don't see that many likes. Oh yes, never mind. On mine, it just needs maybe a refresh.
Okay.
Never mind.
So I just asked a poll to those watching. If you liked the stream, click the like button. And 79% yet said, yes, I always do. 10% says, I forgot, but I will. 10% says, I can't find the like button. Hey, 0% said, no, but I disliked the stream. Nice. I thought there'd be way more trolls.
I thought there would be a troll for sure, but that's probably who said, I can't find the like button.
I was trying to think of a trolly funny one, like, no, but I come here to watch Rob just like lose his mind or rant or, just slowly degrade, something like that.
Oh, and then did you see
1% undecided? No, Daniel says 2 months, but actually a lot more than that. Daniel, I know. Oh, yes, I know.
Thank you.
Yes, that's the problem. Like, I wish I could go back in time. I wish when I started streaming, YouTube just had everything ready. And from the beginning, it was all one service. But even then, I didn't even start Patreon. We had people supporting the channel at the beginning without even Patreon enabled. But it's just the way it's got to go. But eventually, I think I'll like wind down Patreon, just kind of leave it there, quiet, dormant for those who want an option and don't want to give any money through Google or anything like that. But yeah, eventually I'll kind of move to the member thing and try to keep it all on YouTube, and then I can do more. I can lean into more of the features through YouTube, where everyone is obviously using YouTube who watches the channel, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, instead of trying to make you go to other services and do other things on other websites and stuff, like, yeah, let's just simplify. I think it's like the right way to do it. And hopefully YouTube keeps improving it and adding to it and making it less buggy and things. But there'll always be bugs, so we'll see. Oh, I see. Bob says I'm saved from any dislikes because of Mel's presence.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. That's the secret, eh? That's the secret. Okay. All right. I see how it is. All right. All right. Okay. So yeah, I think we can start the Q&A part. And again, so for those that are just tuning in, we were using a new feature that rolled out this month to our channel. I don't know how long it's been rolling out on YouTube or whatever, but I did see stuff about it like a couple months ago. Actually, in the summer, I saw stuff about it and was researching it, but I haven't had access to it till I think like this month. But I can start a Q&A through the chat. And we got another new subscriber, Jamie. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome. Thank you for helping the channel grow. On our way to 20,000 subscribers. I
cannot wait. That's crazy.
Man, I know. It might be a long time. We're a slow crawl here. We're slow growing. Fine. But we're always growing, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll get there. Again, when I hit 10K, I kind of was like, oh, okay. I never thought that would happen. I'm good with that. I'm fine. I'm settled.
Yeah, we didn't think that.
Then we quickly hit 15, I felt, and I was like, okay, 20 is actually possible. On our way. Hashtag road to 20K. All right. So I'm going to click this start a Q&A thing on my side. I'm going to say I put a little message in, submit your questions here. Let's say, Maybe I put Q&A time, something that you can like tell if you just come in the stream and you're like, what is going on?
Kate, you got to ask that question once he posted in the question.
Yeah, I'm ignoring all of them in the chat.
I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah. We're breaking out. Today is that we're trying something completely different. I'm not answering questions in the chat, even though it's hard for me. It's like wired. I've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
So I just look at them and I want to answer everyone's question that I can. But I'm going to try to use this method. So what's going to happen? I'm pressing Start Q&A on my end. You should see a message pop up in the live chat. And yes, if you're watching later, you should be able to see all this on the right. You should be able to see what questions I'm answering. But the cool part is you guys can now submit questions through that prompt. I believe if you click on it on your end, the pinned post at the top where it goes where a poll goes, it goes where my pinned posts go. You can click that and submit a question through there.
There's a button that says, or there's like a little thing that says ask something.
Yes.
So you can click on
that. And Mark's testing it. I see Mark Hurd's message on the back says, does this work? So what I'll do, so on my end, this is my first time using this. I just watched videos about it and read the like help documents about it and stuff. Hopefully it evolve this because it's very basic, but so I see your questions coming in on my end. So the cool part is as you submit questions, you guys don't see them. So the only problem I can see there is duplicate questions can be a thing. If people keep asking and like, you know, the same ones pop it up, but you don't see it like before you'd see it in the chat, right? Then people could ask questions based on other people's questions. You can still do that while I answer them. So the cool part, you guys submit your questions now. It builds a queue on my screen. In my chat window now, I don't see your normal chat. I only see the questions building up, but I can switch it between the modes. So I have another window open that I'll see your chat. I see it in front of me too. I can see your regular chat so you guys can discuss the questions I'm answering and get involved in the topics. And the cool part is it doesn't also get intermingled with questions you're asking. And then I lose the questions that go off the screen and stuff.
Yeah, they won't get lost in the just chat or what we're discussing.
Correct. So on my end, I have a view of the chat. So we can all together discuss the current question. And the cool part is the question I'm answering, when I select it on my end, it will actually change that pinned post at the top of your chat will be the current question I'm answering. So everyone can discuss it around the same question. So some of these questions might be good for other people to chime in on or give their opinions and stuff to help with, you know, add more data to the, you know, people's who are looking for answers to things, right? And also people who join midstream can see at the top of the chat, they can see the current question I'm talking about. So they don't come in and go, what's Rob talking about? Usually I have it up above my head here to solve that problem. But today we're not going to do that. We're going to try it this way. We're just trying it out. We're testing it. I don't know if this is the way we're going to go forward with it because there's still some issues I have with it, just reading about it. But we'll find out here. Thank you all for being involved in this. I appreciate it.
I also think there's a slight delay, so you can't spam questions. You have to give it a little bit of time, which lets other people ask questions as well. Yeah, so please don't ask your question multiple times. I see them in a view right now on the back end. I can go through them one by one, which is nice. I hope it clears them as I answer them. Oh, some of them are already, yeah, some are hidden for me because of the stupid prompt at the top. I can't actually scroll back all the way up. Oh, that's a bug. So I don't see Mark's original one, does this work anymore? But I didn't click on it or anything. Weird. It's being hidden behind like the blue bar of the message that I put. That's weird. Okay, let's start. Let's see. Okay, so I need to click select question. This is a little weird. It's too many clicks, I think, to do this, but let's see what happens on your end. So I just picked Kate's question. I selected it. So it should now on your end say, in that message in the chat, should say, can we get another mythical 24-hour stream when you hit 20K? I don't know about 24 hours, but yes, we can do some long streams, celebration streams, play a bunch of silly games, whatever you guys want. We'll do something big for that. We have to. Yeah, 24 hours is a lot.
Yeah, I'm choosing to ignore like the 16K when we hit it pretty much, the like 17, 18, 19, I don't care. 20K is like, I'm thinking there.
Like maybe like the every fives, 20, 25.
Yeah. So that's just what I'll do.
20 hours? Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, 20 hours.
20 hours is definitely more possible than 24. I remember that last 4 hours of that 24-hour stream, I was like losing my mind.
212s, we did that before and that was doable.
Yeah, we did.
Then I didn't have to take the days off after. And
212s is more reasonable. When we did that for Too Many Bones for one of the celebrations, I just wanted to play the same game.
But then basically we played every single offering for Too Many Bones, every single gear lock, every single mode that exists for the game.
Yep.
We played every player count. We had people joining us throughout it. It was fun.
It was fun.
So it was more fun for me to focus on one game, but not many games I would want to play for 24 hours straight like that. I like trying different games, but we could just binge a game. We could just literally, we could try that for like 24 hours straight, playing the same game, going through a story, but like...
It's just hard though, because people can't
I know.
stay for that long.
I
If
know.
they want to jump in and out, then
Yep.
we're in a place where
Yep.
then they can't watch because they didn't watch it before.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't do that before, is because, yeah, you join in mid-campaign and you're like, what is happening? What's going on? And me just reading in like a 6-hour stream, reading text in a story, reading out loud for that many hours, it's like very draining.
Yeah, we're trying to remember that much.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
10 hours to celebrate. That might be
Yeah, maybe.
interesting. 10 hours to celebrate 20K.
We'll see. Maybe we'll just do a 20-hour.
something.
That would be funny. It's like a little shorter.
A little shorter, yeah. 20 hours is
But
more
I'll figure it
doable, I
out.
think.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, good question.
We got some time, I think, to think about that. Some people are maybe accidentally sending them in the wrong one. If you do, it's fine. Accident something in the question instead.
Kanji's asking, why are UML so awesome? That's a trick question. Yeah, it doesn't remove when I select a question, so I just got to keep scrolling through them, I guess. That's weird. It should clear it after I select it as one.
I think you can delete it, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. Let me try that. Okay, I'm going to remove. I hope it just removes the question. I don't want to remove Kate. I can put you in timeout based on your question.
Yeah, if you ask
I can
inappropriate
hide you from the
questions.
channel. I can report you. Oh, don't ask bad questions. I'll report you. I'll report you to the
We
YouTube
can
mods.
test it, Kate. We're not.
No, it's okay. Oh, it just says message deleted by Rob's gaming table.
Let's see if it did that in here too.
But you don't see the questions in there.
No, I just want to make sure I didn't delete her messages out of here.
No,
too. Okay.
no. I don't. It's just one. Okay, that's good.
We're just testing.
Okay, what happens when I delete the kanji one that's active? I'm going to try that. Let's see what happens. Oh, it just puts it back to submit your questions here. Okay, cool. Okay.
Oh, but Kenji says, "Excuse me, sir, my question was not answered."
I'm sorry. I can't see the chat right now. I'm sorry. It's yeah, I can't see it. I'm sorry.
Oh, it looks like on mobile questions in public chat get confused. Let's see what it
What? Sorry. Say that again.
It looks like on mobile questions in public chat gets confusing. I don't know what it looks like on mobile, but I can see.
No idea.
This is the test. Remember, we're all testing this.
So in the meantime, I'm going to answer Steven's question. It says, I was curious on your take regarding the gap that that Fantasy Flight has left in their huge reduction in releases. I always loved their production value and have always felt they had a certain magic. Yeah, it's a different company now, right? Anytime a company gets purchased multiple times and the original owners and the founders and the majority of the long-term employees leave, it becomes a shell of what it once was. And that's what's happened. They basically came in, and I went through this in my professional career in IT. I've worked for many brands, and we had brands get purchased by other brands. So for those in North America or globally, if you know the brands of like Heinz, the Burger King, Popeyes, Tim Hortons, any of these companies that are all owned by a Brazilian investment firm, which I always forget the name of. But there's many other companies, AnBev, the beer brand that owns like tons of beer brands. They keep buying other beer brands. They're all owned by the same Brazilian investment firm, and they basically come in. They have a formula. They come in, they buy the brand, and they take what they do well. They trim all the fat. They stop spending. They let go of a ton of people. They consolidate their legal, HR, whatever departments, and just try to trim the fat. And the majority of the consumers on the consumer end have no idea. They still go in, they buy their Whoppers, they buy their coffee, they buy their beer, they buy their Kraft products. Kraft is owned by the same company, and many more. They keep buying up companies every year. It's just what they do. But for example, the same thing happened with Asmodee. Asmodee is actually owned by an investment firm, and Asmodee just started buying up board game publishers and taking the properties that they do well and kind of consolidating, trim the fat, streamline processes, handle their distribution, handle their publishing, and just let the few people at the company just work on making games. And they trim all the experimental stuff. They only want to work on what makes money and keeps the shareholders happy, right? So you have to understand that Fantasy Flight Games went through the same transition. They went from being a private company owned by Christian T. Peterson and his friends he started the company with and the people he hired decades ago. And they had fun working on passion projects, and they did very well, and they had a love for it. And the magic they had obviously had other IP holders say, we love your quality. So they got the Lord of the Rings license, Game of Thrones license, Star Wars license. All that was built off the passion and the quality they had there, but it was helmed by people who loved what they did and working for this private company. Well, eventually that company gets purchased by Asmodee, and eventually Christian Peterson leaves, says he's retiring, which is BS. It just means he's not happy working for Asmodee, because he then started his own board gaming company after, so he obviously wasn't done, and hired all his friends that left FFG, and now they're working on Keyforge and some other board games and stuff. So obvious that the Asmodee company came in with such a big fat check that Christian T. Peterson couldn't say no, and Asmodee just wanted control of the IPs they had and the designers they had, and just be able to get those games in their portfolio. And my understanding, the Asmodee goal was to control distribution and kind of streamline distribution of board games, have global release dates, have stores follow their policies. And what they did was they got Catan Studio and Days of Wonder, the big brands, big games that are evergreen games. They also looked at FFG. Games sold very well from them, and they wanted all these games on their portfolio, and then they bought a distribution line, so that way they could tell stores, you need to do what we say, or you lose access to all of our games. So I even knew people at a distribution company that started losing all the Asmodee properties, and they weren't allowed to sell them, so that starts hurting their business. But now you have to go through Asmodee to get these games that everyone buys every year. Every year, there's tons of people who walk in friendly local game stores to buy Catan and Ticket to Ride every year. So Fantasy Flight got pulled into that, and they wanted those games in the portfolio, so that way they could have a wider breadth of things going through their distribution network and more control over it. But then that company, my understanding is that investment firm now has sold Asmodee to the Embracer Group, which actually the Embracer Group, it owns a lot of video gaming companies and is kind of looking for a company, I think, a board gaming line to turn some of their IPs into board games, but they are more of a hands-off firm. So the Embracer Group supposedly likes to invest and let these development houses and these sub-brands do their own thing, and they're a little more lax and let them do their thing. So I don't know if FFG will ever recover and get back to some of what they were, but they're no longer under the Asmodee umbrella of like, does it make money? If not, cut it. Just work on what makes money. So you can see when Fantasy Flight Games changed to being under Asmodee, and especially after Christian left, they then started working on only what makes the money and doing what is proven. So they started cutting all the competitive LCGs because those didn't really make money, but the cooperative ones, they were allowed to keep going. But how many new ones have come out? None, because they're not allowed to make new ones. Keyforge hit, but then when it fell apart, they didn't want to invest the money to get it back going, so they sell it. The app-driven games obviously were huge for Fantasy Flight Games because they let them make a new one. So that's all they were working on is an app-driven game. And the Star Wars stuff, they decided they wanted to consolidate it all to Atomic Mass to just work on miniature games and focus on one thing, instead of having all these sub-brands under Asmodee work on all the same thing over and over again. So it's a key thing when investment firms just want to make higher profit for investors. You trim the fat, you get everyone specializing on things, and nothing gets dual, inefficient, that it's being worked on by the same things being done at multiple things. You have everything done at one place for the whole umbrella. So if that makes any sense, that's what's kind of happened. So Fantasy Flight's not the same as it used to be, and it may never be that way, because Christian, the one behind it, the founder, and all his employees that have been there for decades, all left a long time ago. So you can never expect it to get back where it was. And that's just the way it is. And maybe some of the methodologies of playtesting and rulebook quality and all that, it still seems to be there, but they're just producing less games left often because there's less employees and less projects are getting greenlit, because it's just like the movie industry. Like, we see sequelitis because no one wants to take a risk and make something new and magical, because for every new successful thing, there's like 10 failures, right? So the Asmodee didn't want to take any risk on any failures. That's why you're seeing, like with Plaid Hat, when they were underneath Asmodee, we just see those Jerry Hawthorne games just keep getting repeated because they sold well. So they kept getting greenlit because they made money. So you wouldn't see much experimentation. And then when Plaid Hat left Asmodee, now you're seeing them kind of work on stuff that was getting cut and they were allowed to take, right? But yeah, that's why Asmodee, any publisher under Asmodee, you'll see it kind of like just keeps making the same games over and over again. is because they're doing like the movie industry with sequelitis and like TV shows and stuff. They don't want to green light anything that's a risk because the investors won't like it. But hopefully with the Embracer Group overseeing it now and purchased them over the last year or so, hopefully slowly they started being able to hire, they start greenlighting things, they let them experiment, they let them work on some things they want to for passion, not just for money, and we'll see how that goes. But there's my long-winded answer on what I know from a fan perspective, and you know, obviously I'm speculating like crazy, it's my own thoughts and stuff like that, but yeah. But yeah, go look on Glassdoor. If anyone doesn't know what Glassdoor is, I haven't looked really for fantasy flight games, but I've heard any industry where you're like, huh, this company has changed. They're not what they used to be. They're kind of sucking at service, or their quality of product has dropped, or, you know, I don't know anyone that works for them. Go on the website Glassdoor, where people leave reviews who used to work for companies and their experiences. Go read it about Fantasy Flight Games. Go see what the employees say after who left the company. And you can see the time when Asmodee took over and when things started to change, when Christian T. Peterson left. You can see people are just open and honest on how things completely changed. And I read on one coffee chat, we read a whole Reddit post from a former employee discussing how things completely changed. And this is where all my information is coming from, is just like different things I've read online over the years. Because I've been a super fanboy of Fantasy Flight Games since I got into the hobby. They're the only reason I'm in this hobby. If they didn't make board games, I probably wouldn't even be playing modern tabletop gaming. I wouldn't be streaming on YouTube. If I never found Game of Thrones a board game 2nd edition or Game of Thrones a card game, if they never made those two games, or maybe Lord of the Rings LCG, I never would have found out about modern board gaming. I never would have played a game that hooked me, I don't think. And I would have never known about this hobby, would have never found local game stores, wouldn't have found other gamers. I don't believe I would have. I don't believe I would have. So I've been a fanboy since the beginning. I've always been fascinated by how come they made these quality games, but then some other companies can't. Like, I just never understood. But it's just the same as any industry. Some brands don't want to put as much money and invest in certain things. And Fantasy Flight felt like they invested in the right things usually with their games, and you had a quality feeling about it, which was neat. And they also didn't use crowdfunding, whatever that tells you, which is why I always look down on crowdfunding. It's because like Fantasy Flight Games never use crowdfunding, but I play these super quality games and expansions and stuff, majority of them. But then I see these other companies publishing Kickstarter after Kickstarter, and it's like, they're just not at the quality. So what's happening here? But they're getting money directly from the consumer, you know what I mean? They're not giving anything away to retailers or distribution. It just seemed weird to me. Kenji, thank you for the $5 super chat with no message attached. Much appreciated.
Slams money on the table.
Just trying to interrupt me here. I'm just kidding.
Cutting you off. Like,
I know. Okay.
Song is playing.
Yeah, the hook comes out. All right, move on.
Oh, that was good.
It's a like that's a topic I love talking about, and I just don't keep up on. Like, I would love to look into it and see how are employees who are leaving now with the Embracer Group under control. I just have my fingers crossed that I hope they start making some great stuff again. But I don't think they'll get back to where they are. What you need to do is start looking at Ghost Galaxy, who is the new publisher run by Christian T. Peterson, the former founder of Fantasy Flight Games, and a bunch of the higher staff from there, the people who've been there for decades at Fantasy Flight, all now work for Christian T. Peterson under Ghost Galaxy, and they're working on bringing Keyforge back. They're working on some other games behind the scenes. You never know. Maybe that'll get back to, they'll be the ones making these stuff. And they still work with Asmodee for retail distribution stuff, so they probably have access to the same printers, same distribution. They even work in the same office right beside FFG and stuff in Minnesota. So like, it's super weird. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, keep an eye on Ghost Galaxy. Keep an eye on Ghost Galaxy, because that's where like a lot of the people are. A lot of other people spread out. There's also former CEO or whatever, Andrew Navarro. He has his own publishing studio working on a game we'll play later when we get our Kickstarter or whatever for Earthborn Rangers. He has Earthborn Games, and he has employees working for him who also used to work for Fantasy Flight and stuff. So a lot of them kind of left and have merged and made other publishers. So you kind of watch some of those studios and those publishers and see what kind of magic they bring about. Maybe the quality you're looking for was, it came from their minds. So we'll see. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But Earthborn Games and Ghost Galaxy, watch those two, because there's like a bunch of FFG employees work for both. Former FFG employees, I should say. But yeah, all right. Daniel's asking, did you get your Skyrim pledge? No, I don't think Canada's delivering yet. I think it's soon though. I saw their update talking about how the retail one leaked.
Isn't Daniel in Canada?
Yeah. So does Daniel have it?
Yes. Daniel said yesterday in
Oh.
our stream, you have it,
Oh,
right,
maybe
Daniel?
we'll have it soon then. I don't know. I just saw they posted that it was sending it out soon, but some retailers broke the street date, and that's why we saw it in stock that one time.
Yes, you mentioned.
Yeah, they didn't want that to happen. That was not planned.
Oh, Daniel bought it at retail. Oh, yeah. So retail got it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I don't care. I wasn't in a rush to get that game. When it shows up, it shows up. I don't care.
So the answer is no.
That one I'm taking for the team. That was one where like I was talking about backing it on a coffee chat, and people are like all passing on it and voting on a poll about not wanting it and stuff. I was like, I'll just buy the lowest tier retail base core set pledge and try it out. Taking one for the team. It might suck, but I'm trying it out for the stream. We'll play it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe only play it once. Maybe never play it. I don't know. We'll get it. I'll try it first before streaming it. I might not even stream it. If it's like that bad that I start playing with it and reading the rules and learning it, I might literally just throw it away. Like, I don't care. But yeah, that was a gamble. I didn't back that one because I was like, man, this game looks amazing. It looked okay. It has potential. We'll see. We'll see. My expectations are super low for that one. So it could blow me away and you might see me super giddy and having fun with it because I expected trash in a box. So we'll see. But it looked decent. Like it could be okay.
He just says it's a fun game. I thought it would not be fun, but the campaign stuff is a lot of fun.
Is that the one that had the epic, massive, like three-session campaign?
Yeah.
The marketing was like, my God, everything in this game is amazing and big and huge. Oh my God, buy now. Then you're like, wait, what? The campaign's only like 3 sessions, 6 hours? What? That's epic? Get out of here.
Funny.
Bob asked a question. Let's see if I can select that question. Please, can you answer my question in the chat? I'll answer this question. No. Okay, carry on.
What's your question?
Stacy's asking. No, I'm not answering his question.
I don't even know his question.
Yep. So
I can't see the question.
He's trying to be a troll and off all the rules. We run a very tight ship here, okay, Bob? You know this. There's no joking around here. Serious business, okay?
Oh, Stacy's question. It's snowing.
No, it's pouring, I think.
Here.
I think it's pouring.
Yeah, I think it is.
Might be some hail because it did sound kind of loud, but I don't know.
It is like 7 degrees or something outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no snow here. Funny, I can't see the question, so hearing you laugh is funny.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what people are saying.
I need to change this window because the problem is like some people ask short questions and across is like the 3 dots, right? So I'm trying to line up the question with the 3 dots because I have to click 3 dots beside your question, then go through a sub menu and pick the one select question. It should just be click on the question and it highlights it, but it doesn't. So I'm just messing around here. Sorry guys. I'm just playing around.
Might not be exactly 7, but it's something like that.
Yeah, we're good.
I know.
We're
I'm
good.
just saying.
I know.
Okay, well, what else am I doing just in here?
I know. Okay, let's see. That work? Yes. So this question gets asked a lot. When will we get some more Too Many Bones content? Again, I'm not strictly a one game channel, but I do love Too Many Bones. It's one of my favorite games. And I guess probably when I get more content for the game. I kind of am busy going through a huge queue of games, and we get new ones all the time from publishers. We purchase orders, Kickstarters, pre-orders we did a long time ago. Games show up all the time. Okay, I have this huge pile of games that I'm picking and choosing what to play when. I talked about it the other day, how I need to get back to playing games that I want to play. And I still do that. I still say no to publishers. I still buy games that I think I want to play. But sometimes I get games, I'm like, I want to play this. And then sometimes I look at it, I'm like, I don't want to play this right now. I don't want to stream this right now. I have to stream these other things. I have a priority list I try to work through. But I never want it to be to the point where I'm dictated what I play because I have to, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of excited over these holidays. I want to try to pull out some games that we purchased, some games that'll be funny, some more casual games even, to just play on stream, relax, have some fun, instead of trying to play some game that a publisher sent us. You know, whether I asked for it or they offered it and I said yes. I still want to play those games, some of them, but some I'm like, okay, I wanted this game 6 months ago, but now that it's here and I've played it a bit, it's like, it's not as cool as it was, but I still should stream it because I said I would. You know what I mean? Like, it's being honest is how it is, and I'll be honest about that when I play the games. You know,
Yeah.
As I always am. There's no, I don't take games and the publisher says you have to play it this many times and you have to say these good things about it. Nope. I just say, hey, can I have a review copy, or they offer it? And if they offer it, I say, hey, thank you for the offer. I do want your game, but just understand, I'm open, I'm honest, I will play through it. I'm only going to play it at minimum, maximum, who knows, minimum, I'll try to play it once, you know, maybe I'll play it more, but no promises. If this sounds okay to you, here's the address, send the game. Sometimes they just don't reply after that. Totally fine. Sometimes they send the game, but it's all situational too. And sometimes I ask for a game and they, you know, I tell them this is what I'm going to do with it. And yeah, so I'm kind of excited to clear some of that queue and play some other games. But yeah, I'll probably, again, I backed all the Too Many Bones stuff. We dropped like 500 Canadian dollars on the last Kickstarter for Too Many Bones to buy all that content, because I want to play that content. Okay. I want to play around with it. Will I play all of it? No, probably not. Because realistically, it is the same game. It is just more of the same. So as much as I love Too Many Bones, it's like I've been there and done that, and I'm trying to still find other games. I like the discovery aspect of the hobby. I like trying new things, finding new mechanic combos, new designers, new publishers, new themes, all these things. I love just experimenting, and it doesn't always hit. Sometimes it sucks to me. Sometimes personally, I'm not into the game, but I do want to try lots of games, right? So we've done many hours of Too Many Bones on the channel, so it's like very low on the priority list because of that. So you know, like I got to show some love to some other games and some other publishers and stuff too. So but yeah, we definitely will play more Too Many Bones, but I'm definitely not the Too Many Bones channel, just so you know. Yeah, we probably played it the most out of any channel maybe, but it will come back probably just when we get our, again, we just backed it like normal. I don't know. Yeah, like I don't know if they'll send it to us. I don't think they send it to us early. I think we'll just get it when we get our pledge that we paid for. So whenever that happens in Canada, probably be a few weeks or months after the US gets it, as usual. So that time. So when you get your next content, we'll play it after that at some point. So there you go. There you go.
That question gets asked quite a bit, eh?
Yeah. Because a lot of people found the channel through that, I feel, and they saw me play it so much, they thought it was like the only thing I did. But it's what I did. We found that game right when I started going full time on the channel.
Yes.
And I was obsessed with it. All of a sudden I had all these hours to focus on it instead of my regular job, family, real life, and a little bit. I probably would have only dabbled with Too Many Bones and moved on. But the fact that time it dropped and it was something I could solo, something I could play multiplayer, it was great. It definitely lined up with, I remember it being at that Gen Con, talking to Andrew from the company and telling him, like, in 2 weeks, I'm full time. And I would love, you know, your game Too Many Bones. And they hooked us up. Here's the core set, here's the campaign expansion, whatever. And I remember that was like, you know, I chatted with him. We chatted with him for like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
just
for a while.
He was like VP or whatever of whatever at the company. I forget at the time. But yeah, we were just chatting up and I was like, yep, we've been doing this for this many, like at the time it was like 6, 7 years or whatever. And I'm about to go full time and I'm looking for something else to eat up our time after we basically played out Gloomhaven. And people told us to check out your game. And yeah, so Too Many Bones is like, and Chip Theory is lined up with when I went full time, which maybe is when a lot of people found me because we were producing more content at the time, because I dove in at that time. So maybe that's also part of it too, is that's when some people found the channel. But because that's when I was like doing lots of content for that stuff.
Which makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Larry's asking, let's see. Larry's asking, are you looking forward to Euthia Resurrected? No. What's Kenji doing?
In his 2-month chat. Thank you,
I
Kenji.
owe you a beer, sir. Why you don't owe me anything?
Why would you say that?
I owe you many beers, my friend. I owe you many beers.
We've also had a beer together.
Yeah.
In real life.
And if you're thinking, no, Kenji, no, you don't owe me anything, man. No. It's the other way around. No, that's not how that works. Nice try, though. Nice try. I owe you many more beers. I'm in your beer debt. Yes, we need to have a beer again for sure. Okay. People and beers. What a thing.
Oh, Mark says Too Many Bones is definitely some of the first videos of yours I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's when I started streaming like more often, right? So obviously I start catching more eyeballs if I'm live more often, right? We went from streaming less and making videos more to streaming more and making videos less around that time when I dove in full time, right? And Too Many Bones was right there. It was the game we brought back from that Gen Con I was most pumped to get into. So yeah.
Cobra, I do think there's a bug. So Cobra says, why does YouTube delete my messages and put only a smiley face?
That's a bug.
It's a bug that's happening. If you end your message.
Yep. I've had that. That's been going on for like 2 months, guys. I type in the chat before stream starts. I type full messages to people saying like, hey guy, hey Mark, how's it going? Good to see you again. Smiley face, click send, and it's just a smiley face.
But you have to do what Dan just did. If you can see that in the chat, you put a period, then you put the emoji in that you want.
Yeah, it's a bug for sure. It's stupid. Or I think put your emoji first, which is dumb because like that's not. Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense.
Just put a period. It looks like it works for Dan.
Yeah, try period space or maybe exclamation point, like punctuation space emoji maybe.
Yeah. It
is super annoying. So Cabra, I typed like almost like 150 character messages to people before stream starts, and they're just gone. And I'm like, oh, now I got to start the stream. So it's like, yeah, I could just answer them verbally right after, but I've like almost like lost my crap because of it. It's like very annoying.
Yeah, it is very annoying.
Yeah. I hope they fix it. I'm assuming they will. I don't know how you would report that stuff. Like, I don't even know. I just assume someone at YouTube is using these features and sees it. So anyways, Youthia Resurrected. So the quick, and I'm trying to be quick with this one. Steamforge Games hired on the people from the studio that made Youthia, Dia Games. They went out of business. Dia Games did. Fans were upset. So Steamforge Games purchased them or hired them on to make Youthia and then just print Youthia since it was already done. They basically had to do no work. They just said, we'll help you publish it. We'll fund the print run, and get it out to people. So they started a new crowdfunding campaign from Steamforge Games to make it. They reached out to me in advance to say, hey, we noticed you love Youthia and you obviously were like, connected with it. You did great to support it. Like we want to work with you to help support the game going forward. How can we send you a prototype to play? And I didn't have the prototype for the first one because the people at Youthia couldn't get it to me in time. And I just had other stuff to do. So I said, it's all good. I have Youthia. You already gave me Youthia. I can play it whenever. I don't need your little expansion to stream it again, So we played it on the channel to promote the one that went out of business. That Kickstarter that failed or whatever. So when they were going around to promote it again through Steamforge Games, they reached out to me and I did say, yeah, sure, send me the prototype. I'll make a stream of it. But then they were trying to send it to me through another content creator. That content creator, I don't know who it was, but you suck because that content creator doesn't know how to send a package internationally or something, or lied and purposely held the package to delay it to go to someone else or whatever. I don't know what they did. But some nameless content creator out there that I don't know who it is basically didn't get me the prototype in time so that I could play the game and be on the crowdfunding campaign. I didn't care though. I told these guys at Steamforge, I said, just FYI, I haven't got it. Just so you know, I haven't got it. And when it comes, I'll play it. Don't worry. I can play my current game. I already have streams up for it. You can link my other streams if you want. I played this game many times. So I was like, I don't care. I have other games I'm playing. But they kept apologizing. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, hey, just FYI, don't send stuff through other content creators. If you can respect me a little more than that, send me stuff directly. Make a copy for me. I don't need someone's, some prototype that 6 other content creators used. No offense. But I'm just past that. I don't want that. I don't want to rely on someone else and making my content later. You're obviously putting me lower on the ladder. I don't care. I don't need that. So I just said, don't worry about me. It's all good. They did investigate. And I told them, I'm like, you need to check because there could be some foul play here because you put it in another content creator's hands. They're trying to eliminate competition. We're at a business here, right? Mm-hmm. So they did look into it. And this content creator supposedly messed up the postage or something. And it got stuck at the border and returned to sender and all this stuff. I don't know what they did. I don't know if that's true. But I never got the prototype. But Steamforge was cool about it. Super cool about it. And I was like, I'm good, guys. I'm good. I have other stuff to do. I have plenty of games to play. I don't care. They were like, we are so sorry. We don't want you to be pissed with us. And I gave them tips. I'm like, guys, you need to, like, in the future, when you're sending stuff to Canada, use these carriers. Here's the format you use. You know, if you're sending it from another content creator, make sure they use this and do this. And I gave them all the tips. I was like, have a good day. All the best. But then they felt super bad. I remember at Gen Con, I was getting messages while we were picking up our vaccination wristband. And they reached out and said, Rob, we feel bad. We feel super bad that we did not get you the prototype. And we don't want to have any sour whatever. And I'm like, man, Dark Souls already soured me with Steamforge. But anyways, they felt bad. So they sent us a copy of, what was that dungeon crawler? Bardsung. They said, Rob, this is not sending you a game for content creation. We feel super bad that we didn't get you the Uthia prototype. Okay. So we're going to send you a copy of Bardsung. No strings attached for your personal collection. You never have to play it on stream. This is not about creating content. You don't have to tell anyone this. And I didn't. I kept it to myself. It's just like, we'll just learn from this. It's all good. So yeah, they were cool. We have a copy of Bardsung. Will I ever play it on stream? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But again, like the queue is huge. And I let them know that, like, I only have so much time. It's hard to get to all the dungeon crawlers that exist. So yeah, so they were trying to correct the mistake. So that's what happened with UC Redirected. I don't have it. I didn't back it because during the thing, I was still waiting for the prototype to show up. So I never backed it. I don't know if a copy will eventually show up once it's made.
Yeah, they have our address, so.
But yeah, so I'm not looking forward to it because I don't think I'm getting it. And maybe I'll buy a copy of it later, but I did look at the expansion. It's like, it looked cool, but like, do I need it? Don't I have way too much Uthia content already? Yeah. Do I need more? Probably not. So like that, I don't know if you've ever seen the Uthia box, the box plus the stretch goal box that I somehow put into one box. The box is like, I don't know, it makes the trove chest look small. I don't know, it's huge. Both boxes together, even worse. But I have so much Uthia content I could play in just that first delivery that is like, I don't need expansions for that game. No way I'll ever play that game so much that I'm like, I'll be so bored of it that I couldn't pull it out like once a year and kind of just be like blown away by the amount of content. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Steamforge guys are super nice. I've met them before at Gen Con. I've talked with these guys behind the scenes. I met some of the founders of the company, like when I was first getting started in this industry, and they're all cool. It's just, I still don't know if they know how to make a fun game. They know how to run a crowdfunding campaign. They know how to make licensed miniatures. But again, none of their games I've ever heard of them being like, this game is fun. Yeah, it's a game. The games are okay. But I've just yet to hear about a game that they made that's like, this game is amazing, you need to play it. And the ones that I've played, I feel the same way. So I'm still keeping an open mind, of course. Like, I'm going to try Bardsung off stream at least. At one point when we get to it, I'll try it out and see what it's like. If it seems fun and cool and could be something beer and pretzel like Massive Darkness 2 was, I'll try it. I'll play it on stream. We'll show it to you guys, you know, that kind of thing. But there's no pressure there, and that's pretty cool. So yeah. There you go. That was not real quick, I know. I don't know how to tell that story, like, you know, quickly. But anyways, I guess I could have just said it in one sentence, but then you'd have more questions. Let's see. It's a question. Did you back Aeon Trespass? If not, do you plan on getting it? No, we didn't back any of those games. That's that publisher that then, like, obviously didn't have enough money from the first campaign, that they then came out with another campaign trying to make money to deliver the first campaign. I don't remember the name of that publisher, but it's obviously they maybe aren't managing their money that well. They're kind of sounding like a CMON thing going on over there, but hopefully it's good. But yeah, I don't know. Did this computer just crash or go to sleep? Anyways, but yeah, so no, I'm not planning on getting it. No, if it releases and people are discussing it and I look into it and players like you actually have it and are talking about it online and maybe reviewing it on BGG, or, you know, they reach out to me and they show me the game when it's finished and I kind of look into it, read the rule book a little bit, see what it's like. Yeah, maybe I'll hunt it down. But here's the beauty and what I'm learning in this industry. I have such little FOMO because most crowdfunding games, they get all hyped on the crowdfunding platform. Everyone thinks this is the most amazing game ever. They don't care about any games in their collection. They don't care about any games that are coming to their home. All of a sudden, any crowdfunding campaign, this game looks amazing. It's going to be the best thing ever, everybody. Oh my God, it's on all my favorite YouTubers' channels. They're saying it's awesome. This is the best prototype they've ever seen. Oh my God, oh my God. And then you just kind of wait. The game releases or it gets delayed and eventually releases, and nobody cares. Nobody talks about it. They all get forgotten because they're all just the same generic miniature in a box crap. And that game could be amazing. Or the other thing, it comes out and it's too much content that nobody gets it to the table because they're overwhelmed by the size of boxes that show up to their house. So actually getting players together to play some of these giant complex games that involve like many playthroughs, nobody's getting them to the table to talk about them. So people are collecting and hoarding boxes full of miniatures with mediocre games attached, but nobody's actually playing them and discussing them, so the buzz is not there. But many games, you guys see me in my coffee chats, we look at these games and I'm like, I smell this one as just being forgotten so fast after the campaign's over. So a game like Aeon Trespass could be amazing, but if I just wait like 2 months after people start getting it, I'll know whether I should waste my time with it or not, most likely, because either A, people are discussing it, people are sharing stuff on BGG or talking about it in our chats, or I look into it, watch some reviews, read the rules, whatever, see if it's for me. But most of the time, like you mentioned, these crowdfunding campaigns that had, 8,000 backers, 6,000 backers, 2,000 backers, or whatever, 10, 20,000, whatever, that number is still so small in the hobby. The amount of people who backed the game and got the game is so tiny that the amount of noise they can make is so little that it's so easy to just forget some of these mediocre games and not care. So no offense if you're back to Aeon's End Trespass and you're like, this is amazing. I hope it is. But in reality, I looked at it and went, oh, I'll wait and see. And then the red flag of when they came out with that second game that looked very similar and they were like, here's something else we're working on, guys, back this now. And you're like, why wouldn't you deliver on that other one though? I wonder if you mismanaged some money. Red flags, red flags. So yeah, there's my take on Aeon's Trespass, but I've not been following it. I don't care. If it comes up again, I'll look into it. But it is one that was kind of on my short list to look into later. I do have it in a spreadsheet of games that I need to look into after the release to see what they delivered. Because talking about a prototype and a theory of what the game could be in the end, and actually delivering a cohesive, great, play-tested, quality product that you want to put on the table over and over again, I'm learning that that's a hard thing to achieve in our industry, especially through crowdfunding. And yeah, so prove it to me is where I'm at. So that's why I kind of crap on companies that come to, I know you should be coming to crowdfunding with a prototype. I know you should be coming with an idea and asking for the fans to support it. I understand that. But I'm at the point, there's so many damn crowdfunding campaigns that if your prototype doesn't convey what your final product will be well enough, I'm going to wait to see the final product first before I slap money down. So prove it to me. That's why I like retail releases so well, because then the market can judge and decide.
Mm-hmm.
I can play your game at a reasonable price without giving you my money in advance. And yeah. And if you're willing to put your product in retail and you have that confidence in your product without gambling and asking people for your loan up front, yeah, then I kind of look at your game a little closer, because how much risk is there going through crowdfunding, right? If you haven't done much for your game and you go ask everyone for a bunch of money, what's the risk there? Oh, well, it doesn't work. You go back to your day job. It's all well. But when a publisher's like trying to put stuff through retail, you got to make sure that game is quality and people are going to actually seek it out online or at their local game store or whatever. Otherwise, you just dumped a bunch of money and it's lost. So there's more of a threat there. And I like that. I like that they have that pressure on them, where they're not just trying to satisfy 2,000 people on a Kickstarter. They're actually trying to satisfy like distribution, retailers. They have to go through a bunch of gates and checks. On crowdfunding, I can just go on there and show you a bunch of JPEGs of miniatures and you'll give me tons of money. That's just how it seems to work. And it's kind of sad. So there's no pressure there to actually make something great. And yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts. Again, my thoughts have gone up and down over the years, but that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with this stuff. But yeah, let me get my computer back on here. I don't know what just happened, but yeah. But yeah, no crowdfunding project. They're not spending money on playtesting. They never do. That's what it feels like. and I know I'm generalizing. Obviously, there's publishers that do. Most of them just get their fans to play test for them for free, but at least that's something, right? They're paying an employee to kind of run the playtesting program, which is nice. But yeah, a lot of crowdfunding campaigns, they just need to deliver on the items in the box, you know? Did we give them the 68 miniatures, the rule book, the dual layer cardboard boards, the bag? You know, did that all get put in the box and sent to them? Well, we've done our work. But did you play it? Did you play test it? Is it fun? Did you actually make something that's good? Or did you just throw a bunch of mechanics together that you had on your list of your marketing sheet? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm very jaded on Kickstarter stuff. A lot of garbage. And no one's holding them to task. But yeah, anyways. Just a consumer like you guys, FYI. Okay. Yeah, that was all on asking, did I back Aeon's trespass? Yeah, Rob's rants, what are you talking about? There's no such thing. Sorry, I don't know any of those either here you can answer, Mel, would be nice. I feel like I'm just talking and you're just sitting there. I feel bad.
Well, I don't answer like industry stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm literally going like one by one.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
I don't get to see the questions, so.
Here we go. I know, like I'm going through. I'm gonna skip some for sure, but because I can't get all these, they're like it's crazy. But I like this feature so far.
Yeah,
I think
because it keeps it clean, and then the chat is clean as well.
I wish I could see it on the screen though, because not everyone has access to the chat, so they can't just see like on their device maybe as easy.
I wonder if you can do the same format, but then still pop them out. So our old format that we were doing before.
Maybe I'll play around with that later, but not today. I'm focused.
No,
I'm just trying this out and see how it goes. But anyways, the question is, Mel, how do you find time for a job, being a mother, a wife, amazing wife, by the way, supporting Rob as much as you do, and still have time for yourself?
Well.
Careful. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Well.
Oh, Paul sent one for Mel too. Okay,
so one of the things, I guess, about like a lot of the time on stream, I would say 99.9% of the time, I'm on stream with Rob. So we're hanging out together, we're playing games, or we're preparing for games, preparing for streams. So we have a common hobby that we do together. So it kind of gives us a little bit of that us time, right? My job is just like a normal 9 to 5. So it was harder during COVID, at the beginning of COVID, when I was working a lot of overtime. That was a lot more challenging. I don't know. I
think her daughter getting older and being less reliant
more self-sufficient,
also helped.
So I don't really have to do as much for her. COVID also helped with working from home, right? So during lunch breaks or when I have a few minutes, I can throw laundry and I can wash some dishes. All of that helps for sure. I don't think I do it all great. Definitely there's balls that fall on the ground that I don't catch, for sure.
It's all good though.
But yeah, we just work together and we just manage this life together.
Teamwork, man.
Yeah,
Teamwork.
Exactly. I couldn't do it without him, and he probably couldn't do it without me. So yeah, I think that's just how we do it.
Yes, that's correct.
But sometimes it is a challenge, for sure. Sometimes, yeah, it is definitely a challenge. But it's fun. It's fun. This is the life we've chosen.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here.
You said there was one more for me? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, but
no, you can skip.
I'm going to go through them. I have to go through in kind of an order, or else I'll forget where I was.
No, that's an interesting question that I don't really think about, right? You just like live day to day. Oh, and painting. I do painting kind of. So I'll do painting, which is kind of like my hobby, works into gaming as well. And I do that maybe like while I'm watching a show that I want to watch, which is kind of like my me time as well. So.
Chris asks, Rob, do you prepare all stream graphics animations? No, I dabbled in making my own transitions and stuff for a while there. I was trying to do everything myself and learn it all myself. But sometimes I just spend some of the budget for the channel. Thank you everyone for your support on buying graphics or looking on sites for people who make stuff. Eventually I want to get like custom stuff. The only problem is I spend lots of time searching for stuff that other people have. So I'll find stuff on other websites and services and say, hey, can I use this in my stream? You know, and sometimes I'll be like, yeah, go ahead. Other times I have to pay for it. But usually I go search for things and just find fun things that maybe line up with the theme of the game. or I make my own things. Like so my Lord of the Rings intro, I went and found a whole bunch of like fan made animations, and then I went in my video editing software, put them together, found some open music, you know, license free music or whatever, and that sounded Lord of the Rings style, and I put that in. I spent like half a day coming up with that intro because I figured I played enough Lord of the Rings games. Let me just make one intro that I can use for all those Lord of the Rings games, because I could just make one. I should do this. I need to do this, but I have fun doing what I'm doing. It's part of the time I spend. So I don't always spend all my time for the channel just reading board games, playing board games, and playing them on channel and playing them off channel. I also make scenes, find transitions, listen to music, trying to find all different music tracks. I listen to tons of different services of music, trying to find things that fit with the games. So if I'm streaming a game or a genre I've never streamed before, I have folders I make and collect. And some stuff I make myself, some stuff I find on the internet, and I put it together. Like I have a fantasy folder of things, and certain things are directed only at games. I reach out to the publishers. If they have trailers, I'll take those trailers, I'll put them in video editing software, edit out their music, edit out the scenes advertising other things, and try to just take the scenes and turn it into like a nice intro graphic that would get me hyped up about the game I'm about to watch or play. I watch what some of the publishers do, and I try to like improve on what they do even, you know, and like try to say like, how would I be excited watching a stream? What would I expect to see? And I just use the limited skills I have to try to like figure things out and put it together. I like making each stream unique kind of to the game we're playing, with the themed music, the intros, the font sometimes, and all that kind of stuff.
Even the colors you use.
Colors, yeah. I try to match it up to make it look a little more professional with the lack of professionalism I have, and try to fake it till I make it kind of thing. But at some point I just have to make generic Rob's gaming table graphics and animations, or pay some artist or graphic artist to do it for me. So that way I don't have to sit there and spend 4 hours before a stream in the morning, sometimes making scenes, looking for videos, editing intros, listening to music, downloading it, figuring it out, finding all the different spots to zoom in on and all that stuff on the table. And depending on the game I'm playing too, like I'll have to figure all that stuff, and like how does the game, how much space does the game take up on the table, and where can I put stuff on the screen? I basically start with that, and kind of like what kind of scene would I need and what kind of graphics on that scene based on how much is on the table and how much spare space I can fit it. There's like a lot of thought and work that goes into that, that I kind of just don't talk about. But I hope it's like kind of like the I know it's grown the channel because when I started actually putting more time in that stuff and less into just like grinding through game after game after game, you know, and start stopping and doing it the way I always strive to do it is I've talked about this before, I very much idolize Nintendo and their mentality, and I've read some of their business books and audiobooks and things about like how it's quality over quantity is like their thing, and delaying things until they're quality, they just do it, they don't care, and they've been super successful for like 100 years. And I think it's really neat, and I look at companies like that, and I've always been interested in that stuff through school and all that kind of stuff. But so I thought, you know, maybe streaming a little less, but spending some of that time, instead of just reading the next rule book and streaming the next game, go, I need to slow down and kind of like, let's make that stream more enjoyable, more fun, more interactive. Like let's improve the quality and not worry about the quantity. Because once it's all about the quantity, then you start losing the quality. Then you start doing the grind, then you start getting burnt out, and then nobody wants that. Okay, nobody wants that. So there you go. That's the mentality I go at it. So yes, but at some point I do have to stop with all the specialized stuff and just come up with something generic. So that way I don't have to spend so much time doing that, and I get some more time back or improving in some other area. That's where I'm trying to think of. But spending the time to come up with generic scenes and graphics that fit every single stream, oh my God, that's crazy to me. But it still would probably be worth it to do.
It might also be worth it, like you were saying, but for the more one-off niche games, like if we're just going to play something one time, don't put all the work into making all of the stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff that he does that you guys don't even think about, even down to like the thumbnails and the descriptions and things like that. That all just takes so much time.
I also try to get to more like try to use similar thumbnails to like, so you know it's me when you're scrolling around, and just try to be clean and simple. Because when you start getting funny with the thumbnails and trying to take pictures and integrate stuff and all that, it's like, if you're spending so much time on that, yes, that is huge, because that's like the first impression you get from people. But I just try to be clean and simple with it. Yeah. But it still takes time to find the box art, and sometimes the box art's not there, and I have to reach out to the publisher and say, what the hell, why don't you have box art available for your game? Because like, how am I supposed to market and show your game off to people? What do they know what they're even clicking on? And like, why isn't your logo available online for me to use? Like, get with the times, man. You know, that kind of stuff. And I have to wait for replies and things. Like, yeah, sometimes some publishers are better with it than others, but yeah, it can be time consuming for sure. Anyways,
It's behind the scenes. That
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
don't see, right?
Again, I'm here to show you cool tabletop games, not teach you or tell you about my issues and my problems or how to do what I do or how to run a YouTube channel or anything like that. I'm not a pro with it. I'm just gonna do what I learn my things, do my own way, and try to figure it out so that I'm unique as best I can be and stand out is what I'm trying to be and not just copy. That's where I'm at. That's what drives me. All right. But yeah, I don't know if that answered the question, but there you go. So we have a question here from Jeffrey. Do you plan on playing a full co-op session of Imperial Assault? Yes.
We've talked about that.
I don't know when.
We don't know when.
But I did say probably 2023. I didn't think it would happen this year based on all the games we had, especially after Gen Con and the games we've been getting recently and stuff too. It's probably a 2023 thing. Again, I am more enjoying and would prefer to be playing Lord of the Rings, Journeys to Middle-earth. That's my personal thing. I love playing that game with Kyle and Mel every week. And we have the current campaign we're playing, Poison Promise. We have Spreading War that we've not played yet. So those two campaigns are at way more of a high priority for me to play personally. And I'm more excited to play than to play co-op Imperial Assault, being honest. But I do want to try it. But again, I'm not as excited for that as I am just getting through those. So those, you probably won't see Imperial Assault is why I'm telling you this until we've finished those two campaigns at minimum. Okay, so there you go. So if you think we're like scenario 5 or whatever out of who knows 14 sessions of the current one, and let's say the next one's like 10 to 12, and we only play once a week. Some weeks we don't even play. We're talking months maybe before that even becomes a question. What should we play next? And there's other games we'd love to play with Kyle in between there that are one-offs or whatever that we want to try. And we don't know what's going to get released. Maybe Descent Legends of the Dark gets released. We're definitely Imperial Assault. Imperial Assault gets pushed back if that comes out. Maybe even Lotor Jimmy gets pushed back when that comes out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, when the next big box they're working on, they change the priorities. So the next big box is they're working on trying to get out. I bet that's a Gen Con release next year.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, I hope they've listened to the feedback from the first one, and I hope they make some changes. But yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with that one.
Yeah, I can't wait either.
Yeah. So there you go. Hopefully that makes sense. And again, what I play with you and Kyle, what I play with Mel and Kyle is like a different category of games than the games Mel and I play together. So maybe Mel and I would play an Imperial Assault by ourselves co-op, but most likely I'm going to play that with Kyle and Mel because I had fun doing the one versus many with it. But I would love to see their impressions and see how the game feels playing with the same players, but playing co-op together.
Yeah.
So, but yes, Mel and I could just go, let's play that tomorrow, just me and her. But fitting in with Kyle, there's additional priority list there, right?
Yep.
I also want Kyle to be playing games he really wants to play too, right? And he is not complaining about playing more Lord of the Rings again. So he is looking for, you'll probably see, maybe there's a trend like,
oh, he'll come every time because he's enjoying this game. But then if he doesn't like it, maybe he misses a week or two here.
Maybe those calling in sick weeks are because he's not having fun playing. No, I'm joking. They're not like that. But
while you're looking for the next question, just going back to your previous question, Rob does not do clickbait, so we're not going to do that.
I did it sometimes just for fun and jokes.
Funny jokes, but not as a thing. But
yeah,
Jade's saying, I think you should start doing thumbnails with Mel making crazy faces and the titles saying, I was playing Gloomhaven, then this happened. No, we're not going to do that.
So here's the thing. Clickbait, you have to understand there's a huge audience on YouTube of children who have their mom's cell phone or their parents bought them an iPad to babysit them because they don't want to deal with their problem child. So they feed their problem child sugar, give them an iPad, and let them be distracted over in the corner. And that kid gets to run wild on the internet. Well, of course, that kid has access to YouTube. And when that kid's just browsing YouTube, what are they going to click on? Stuff that looks stupid with eyes increased, excitement, cartoony looking clickbait titles, or the other audience that will click that, no offense to any of you who do get suckered in by that, but the weak-minded or people who give into FOMO. Because when you see a clickbait title, it's like, oh my God, it's kind of like the evening news in the US, right? That's like, stay tuned at 11 o'clock. Find out how your refrigerator can kill your whole family. Stay tuned to avoid this mistake. 11 o'clock, we got you. You know, it's all fear marketing tactics, like the FOMO idea. Like if you don't click this or watch this or consume this media to see the ads, you're not going to get this secret information that only I have or you must know that will improve your life, right? So if you're weak-minded, you give in to FOMO, you're sucked in by human psychology tricks that are used on the internet. Most of that stuff is targeted at children. I don't make content for children. I don't play games that I play with children. If I do play games that I play with my family, I'm playing it with you guys to show you who are also fellow fathers, mothers, have family and friends you play with. I will play family games on the channel, but I'm not playing games that I'm expecting a 12-year-old to go out and buy and watch me play. I don't want my chat full of 12-year-old Minecraft kids.
Right.
Okay? I don't want that. So I'm not going to use clickbait. I also don't want morons here who like have to click on that stuff and can't scroll away or avoid it because they're just, like you're not strong-minded enough to understand how you're being manipulated. That's not what I'm doing here. It's not worth it to me. I'm not going to bother. But yes, sometimes I'll do it as a joke for fun.
But usually people can tell because they know what thumbnails we normally do.
Knowing me, I know the people who know me and see if I ever do a thumbnail like that will know clicking on this is not my usual content. It's a joke. Right. You can fully miss out on it and move on. And if you click on it, it's all laughs. Like we're just here to joke around and have fun, So like, yeah. So keep that in mind. Well, that's where I feel. That's how I feel about clickbait. It's garbage, it's stupid, and if you use it, I feel bad for you. You're obviously very desperate. You're trying to manipulate people. You don't mind if your chats or your commenters are full of 12-year-olds. You're preying on children. You got problems. That's where I'm at.
Or the other way, where you're just using a clickbait title to get people to click on your video, which is, And
it's understood. Like, obviously, people are in this to make money, or else they can't do it, right?
Yeah.
Or they want to do it full time. So whatever they can do to make money, it makes sense. So yes, my thumbnails could use the work. Yes, I could follow the formula generically on YouTube, but most of those videos you'll find about how to make proper thumbnails, you're going to find the majority of ones that get the clicks are the ones that are targeting children or teens who are just playing on their phone, have lots of time, and you want them to click your video just because you're so desperate for watch minutes or clicks or ad revenue. No thanks.
Yep.
That's not what I'm building here. It's not what I'm trying to do. It's not the community I want. No. And if I start doing it, I won't feel good about myself, and no. But yes, there's probably a middle ground because I have found more serious, mature people who do this as a job like me, who will talk about just make it clean, make sure they understand what they're clicking on, make you pop out from the one on the left and the right, make yours look more quality than some of the trash. There's lots of trash thumbnails out there. Okay, not everyone puts the time in. Some people just quickly whip something together and think that's not important. It is very important. So there's definitely a minimal quality method and some time you have to put in on your thumbnails. But I'm not about that. But yeah, so it's not anything about playing Imperial Assault.
No,
so
I said it was, while you were looking for the question, it was related to the one we talked about before.
Oh, I see.
Thumbnails and stuff.
Wait, that was from the chat?
Yeah.
Mel,
but
stop.
It wasn't a question.
Stop. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. I see.
It was just like a comment.
Stop looking at the chat. No, I'm just joking. All right. Keith says, what happens if you get 6 hours of questions? Well, I have a timer going on in front of me. We have 50-ish minutes left. I will just keep answering, and I may run out, and I can't answer them all. And I just have to do it today. I have to. So yeah.
We answered that one real fast.
Winterson asked, so the next question, I just answered a question there, but I didn't have to say anything, but you would have saw it pop up, I'm sure. Winterson's asking, considering that you cooled off on the Kickstarter scene, what would be your criteria to back a game? I don't think I cooled off the Kickstarter scene. I've always been cool on the Kickstarter scene since about 2014, since I went crazy and backed a bunch of things and just realized most of the things I got were garbage. And they were hyped up to high hell, and it continues. And every now and then I come back and I get pulled back in, and then I get those games and they're definitely never live up to the hype, almost always. So nothing's really changed there. I've learned over experience. But it's not just me who's cooled. in general, I've heard this from publishers, overall crowdfunding in board gaming has cooled. People are just getting burnt out. Their collections are getting full. They don't have as much time to play games now that pandemic lockdowns have lifted and stuff like that. People have gone to other hobbies. People, once you get in the hobby, you start realizing like it's the same mechanics, you know, and the same excitement of discovery starts to wane a little bit, right? So you can keep growing this hobby. You can keep pulling new people in. Of course, that's what drives me. I'm sure there's people out there we can still find and pull in, but you can only be fooled so many times going through crowdfunding before you just get burnt out by it and are done with it. How many comments do I see online in board gaming forums of the same story of spending is down. People are backing overall less Kickstarter board game projects a year. And the ones who are spending less money on the projects per year. All money and amount are down. It's a thing. It's down. It's dropping. It's going down. Also, I hear a lot from the hardcores in our community who back lots of games are just not seeing much exciting stuff out there. I see the excitement is waning. I see the amount of exciting projects are just, the comments I always see are, nah, I'm done with Kickstarters for the rest of the year, or I've already backed this, I'm good, or I just got this one finally delivered after 4 years. I'm just going to focus on this now. I don't need to back another one for a while. You know, I just see the overall, it's just down. The hype is down. It gets repetitive. You can only fool people so many times before they just start like, no thanks. Doesn't mean there's not amazing games out there. Doesn't mean publishers are still putting out awesome stuff through crowdfunding. But it's not that I cooled. It's like, I don't know. I just was never, I haven't been hot on crowdfunding for a long time. Yeah. I've always been that way since you guys have pretty much known me. I was really hot on it from 2012 to like 2014. And then after that, it just kind of was like, okay, I'll check things out. And every now and then there's a project that excites me. But, you know, I'm more realistic with it. And yeah.
We're consumers just like you guys, right?
Yeah.
So we can't just back everything.
Yeah. I only have so many funds. Again, I don't have a real job. I do that. No, I'm just joking. I don't make tons of money doing this, right? So I have to be smart with my money. I'm still the same consumer I was before I started doing this full time. I'm still smart with your guys' money who give us money. I don't spend it all on backing everything that has an IP on it I want, or has a designer tied to it, or has a cool miniature that I must buy in the first 24 hours and I get it free on my pledge, or stretch goal boxes that I'll never get to, like, you know, I need more stretch goals or this isn't worth it for me. You know, I don't fall into that stuff. I'm very much more skeptical now. Fool me once, you know, kind of idea. But what would be the criteria to get me to back a game?
I think there's lots of discussion that we have before we do.
Yeah, it depends.
We look at it together.
There is no magical one thing. No. It's just, it's like, has to be a mix of like, does the game look like something I need in my collection right now, or something I'm interested in? Would the people on my channel be interested in it? Does it look like it's gonna be quality? Does it look sketchy? Do I believe in the publisher to deliver? Do I care about that game that's gonna come in 3 years?
Yeah.
Should I just wait on it? Is there red flags there? Is it just seem like marketing fluff? You know, how have they delivered in the past? There's like many things. There's no one thing. That's such a loaded question. Every crowdfunding campaign is approached differently. And then there's so many variables on my personal end and my business end that have to line up. And it's all time-based and it changes over time, right? Yeah. So like, let's say a bunch of games deliver in the next 6 months. And then I've played through a bunch of those. And I'm sitting there with Mel and we're like, we need something new, you know? Maybe then all of a sudden I look on crowdfunding and start searching out games, and I'm more open to getting more games in the queue. That would change too. But there's no shortage of great games out there. There's no shortage of games showing up to retail. No shortage of Kickstarter games that are getting into retail now, or second campaigns showing up. There's always the wait and see. That's like usually a safe bet. Either you wait and the game doesn't have a second campaign or never gets to retail, or there's no way to get a second copy other than high price. That's great. The game's not worth it then. If it was that great, they would make a second campaign. People would want it. There'd be more demand. Just go find a game that's like that and play that instead, you know? Or look at your own collection. So I don't know. There's so many things there. But yeah, just right now, man, I go on crowdfunding. I haven't done it in a couple of weeks, but man, there was like many months this year after Gen Con. I kept looking and there's just like nothing driving me. And the last coffee chat, even on that one, it was mostly jokes. It was like, there wasn't much driving me. That's like interesting and new and cool and like worth the money. I don't know if it's just the time of year, but then I heard the same from like Kanji and others who were like, yeah, there's not much great going on right now at the time, you know? It's like, okay, it's not just me. you know.
Well, even in our crowdfunding Discord channel, like not much is happening either.
Yeah.
Other than people saying that they're getting stuff.
I'm
or
still
updates on
waiting.
things.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on like 10 or 15 or 20 projects to deliver that I was excited about 2 years ago. I feel like all those publishers are busy with those projects. So when they finally get around to making their next project in a few years, you know, some excitement will come back. You know what I mean?
Which is the other thing too. We have a list of games that we're already waiting for. Maybe we have tentative dates on when they're supposed to come. So maybe we look at that as well.
Yeah.
And how much money do you want just wrapped up in Kickstarter while you're just waiting for games
Yeah.
to come in, right? That's huge.
And the worst part is putting money in there and you're like, oh, don't worry, I'll put my money in. I'll get the game early and I'll get it at a decent rate and less than MSRP. But majority of the time, you find out later you paid more in shipping. The company needs more money because they undervalued the project, or things went blew up out of cost, or they took too long and they have to pay their employees. Yeah. And then you find out later you ended up paying way more than everyone else because the MSRP thing was all BS. And you could have just waited and bought the core set later at retail, which was a more solid buy, more value, and you probably don't even play through all that. So it's like, again, it's just being burnt so many times. It's easy to just blanket statement a lot of crowdfunding. So I don't know.
So I guess long story short is we don't really have a set thing that we're looking for. We take each one individually that we're interested in.
Yes.
If I bring one to Rob or he brings one to me, we look at it together.
Again, even if it was like, man, Rob, this most amazing like adventure, app-driven, dungeon crawling, you know, IP themed thing that you love, look at it on crowdfunding. It's like, oh man, I have like 6 of those I'm still waiting to be delivered. Like it's hard, but like if you asked me that same question months ago, maybe I would have been more excited about it, you know what I mean? Or maybe in a year I'm more excited about it. It's very like timing based too, right?
Yep.
Like we have no shortage of games right now, and I am like you. Understand, like, yes, I create content, yes, I'm a YouTuber, whatever, but I'm still just a regular dude that's like building a collection of games and playing games and having fun with the hobby still, right? And it's like I only need so many games piled up staring at me that I need to open and play and film or not film, whatever it is, before I'm just like, I need to stop, right? Otherwise I'm just wasting money. Mm-hmm. Like I could go buy that game later, and if I can't and it's gone, that means the game wasn't that important. It's all good. I'll just get something else. No big deal. So that's where I'm at. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. Janet's asking, have you secretly received your Frosthaven and just haven't told us? No. Have any Canadians received it? I have no idea.
No, we have not.
Again, we were just regular backers of Frosthaven. We bought it with our money as a regular backer. I don't know what wave we're going to get it in, when it's going to show up to Canada. I have no idea. Honestly, I don't care.
You will know.
Yeah. I'll do an unboxing of it or something just to let you guys know. We can chat about it as I punch out tokens, or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, we won't keep it from you.
Yeah. No, I don't have it. No. I'll post it even in the Discord when it shows up. I'll do a picture in the, you know, the pics of new games received and all that stuff. You'll know, Jan. You'll know for sure. Yogi's asking, who's playing which sections in ISS Vanguard? I don't know what that means because we haven't read the rules yet. We're streaming that on Saturday. I've opened it. I started punching tokens earlier. Mel's painted it. All done? Painted? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
But I don't like really touching a game until Mel's like getting close to finish painting it. Or we're going to stream it now because I'll forget because we play other stuff. But Brian, thank you for the super chat. Kids went back to study hall. Yay!
Nice, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I do understand what you're talking about, Yogi, and because I painted them, so I know that there's the different colors because I painted the bases. Now, if you have suggestions, please post them in the Discord and we'll look into it before we play. But yeah, so
what we're going to do, we're going to play this tutorial tomorrow or Friday off stream, try to learn the game, go through the rules, set the game up over the next 2 days. That's why we're not streaming, among other real life things we have to do. Hopefully that's enough time to get prepped to play it on stream. We're not going to be pros with it, I'm sure. We're just going to try it out, get into it, whatever. Looking to scratch the surface with it, I guess. We'll see. And then after that, we'll decide whether we keep playing it, whether you guys are watching it, whether we're having fun with it. But at this point, I don't know what your question means. But yeah, we're playing it on Saturday.
But yeah, if you have suggestions.
I'll have an answer for you on Saturday at the start of the stream. So back to the talk about the 20-hour stream or whatever. Trumpet Gamer says that's only 2 games of Hexploit.
That's funny. 2, we could stretch that into 1.
Oh, Necro Comic Con Oh, okay, okay. Let's see.
Connect for Comic-Con, hello.
Hello, hello. This is from before, but I don't know if it's still here. But how do I get a timeout with 2 clown faces trolling me in the back end here?
Oh, you want a timeout?
Yeah, yeah. I'll show you how.
Uh-oh.
I'll show you how. Put user in timeout. I forget if that's like 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
I think it's 3.
So you get a timeout for putting clowny faces in your question.
Oh, it's 300 seconds, it says he was in timeout for.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's how you
now
get.
he's probably like, wait, what? Why am I in timeout
Yeah,
now?
like, what?
'Cause that was
happening?
so long ago.
That was like an hour and a half ago I did that.
Now I'm in timeout.
Quickly, I'll just rifle off a few here. Try to be fast as I can. But like when people take the time to ask a question, I want to answer the best, but then I can't get to all the questions. It's very struggle for me. Nothing's ever quick and short for me. All right. Thoughts on Arkham LCG going forward without MJ Newman? Not sure. My thoughts are only I want to see what MJ is working on next. I'm more excited about that. Then I don't care whoever's taking it over. I feel like I have enough of that game. I don't care if they make more content for that game, I'll be honest, because we haven't even played all the content we have. I want to see what they're putting MJ on, and I hope it's something good, not putting her on some like casual party game or something weird that I don't care about. I hope they put MJ on some hardcore game, and it doesn't have to be Arkham related, but I'm curious, and I hope it's a sign that either A, it's maybe one of a new project that with the Embracer group, going back to the Fantasy Flight talk before, maybe they're actually doing some cool creative stuff, and maybe MJ is working on something that like with the Embracer group and running Asmodee now, maybe it's a little different, maybe it's more open, maybe they're letting them experiment. I hope it's not just putting MJ on like another cookie cutter copy of a previous game, like, you know, let's do Mansion of Madness 3rd edition and like do the same thing again, but with what we've learned from the last app-driven game. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I hope it's something new and creative and cool, and let's MJ just go nuts with it, using everything that she's learned from working on all the games at FFG. That's what I hope. But I don't know. I didn't read up to see. Maybe she talked about being promoted or getting her own studio like Corey Knetsia had. I don't know what the future is for MJ, but just not working on Arkham is kind of crazy. But I've been through many LCGs where the head designer has left. And I've been through many cycles of competitive LCGs where they had a different designer running it, and the employees working on it and running the playtesting have all changed and stuff like that. So I don't know. Could be a good thing. Could be a good thing. Some people just get burnt out working on the same thing and the passion leaves. Maybe having some new eyeballs on it and some new hands in the pot. Maybe it creates some amazing content for that game. But I don't care about that game as much as I'm curious about what MJ's working on next. I'll be honest. That's where I'm at.
I think we talked a little bit about that in our Scarlet Keys episode 1 as well. We talked a little bit about that. So if you're interested to see more information on what Rob said, which I don't remember.
Here's a question for you from Paul. Finally got to it. Hi, all. Late to the party. Question to Mel. Are you going to purchase the new Express color line from Vallejo? Is that like speed paints? Is that what this is?
I don't know.
It's like they're...
Now, to be honest, I don't use much of Vallejo paints. I do have a couple here and there. I really love the Army Painter paints that I have. If this is...
Yeah, we have a local game store that carries a lot of Vallejo, but they also carry like everything else.
I just need to see.
And it's like a lot of it's the same price as like Army Painter and stuff.
Okay, so I think this is their contrast paint.
Oh, okay.
So if it is, then probably no. Army Painter is working on additional colors, and I'm interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, Army Painter is trying to make 90 speed paint colors,
which is amazing because I can't even remember how many.
And they've changed the formula. They sent me something saying they changed the formula. Actually, they've improved on feedback from fans and painters and content creators to actually improve the formula to help with the reactivating and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
They're actually like evolving their current formula to make it even better, and they're trying to add new colors, which I think is cool. So obviously the speed paints have been selling like hotcakes.
Yeah, they are amazing.
Yeah,
I don't think I will ever not be buying and replacing my speed paints as they run out. So I think I would probably stick with the Army Painter ones. Now, that's not to say that once the Express line comes out from Vallejo, if there's huge buzz and people are really liking those, maybe I would pick up some to try, just for comparison sake for myself. But currently, I don't have any intention of buying them currently. I think I want to just see the new colors Army Painter comes out with.
It could be like current paints now, though. Sometimes there's just certain paints from like, you know, colors or shades or washes. Sometimes people just like buying a mix of different things, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the express color black or red is like very good compared to Army Painters, compared to Games Workshops, you know? And then people start buying just specific Vallejo colors and specific Army Painter colors and specific Games Workshop colors, for example, of speed paints, just because of consistency or the pigments or whatever, the colors they use.
I think, you know what, maybe
yeah.
I would pick 1 or 2 up to try them
That's
when I
what
go
I
to my
mean,
game
yeah.
store, and then just have a comparison just to see for myself. But yeah.
New subscriber, Eric, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so I'll look into it more, and we can talk about it maybe in my next paint stream, whenever that is.
Erica's asking, so wait a sec. Did you back Sleeping Gods Distant Skies? Sorry if you already answered this. I'm really looking forward to it. No, that is a huge retail buy for us. I don't need any of the extra stuff they were offering in there, but I probably will grab it at retail if it fits with what we're playing at the time. But yeah, I'll probably pick it up at retail and try it out. But when I saw what they were doing, there's some things where it's just like, I know this publisher goes to retail and they make quality products at retail. I don't feel like paying extra shipping to Canada through the crowdfunding. I don't feel like paying more for the product through crowdfunding because I'm paying for all the extra stretch goals I'll never get to, and the additional expansions and the exclusive this and that. Yeah. I just need the base expansion or the base box or the base standalone game, and I'll play it. I probably won't even play through all of it. I gotta be realistic. So if I wait for retail, I'll pay less. My local game store will get some, and they'll stay in business. And then I won't have my shelves full of a bunch of crap that I'll never play and stretch goals that I paid extra shipping for and extra cost for, because that stuff's not free. This stuff's not free. So when I look at certain things, like I looked at that crowdfunding campaign, all over that one, it just said, wait for retail. Because my local retailers all stock those products from Red Raven. So I'll probably just wait for that, or pick it up at a convention and right from the publisher. That's the other thing. And it saves me on paying for, you know, the shipping and all that stuff, and probably paying more for it in the end. Because again, it's like, I don't have endless funds, so if I can save some money somewhere, I will do it. And sometimes supporting my local game store feels good, because if they weren't there, I wouldn't be able to pick up some of my games. I would have never been able to meet so many awesome gamers and play some of my tournaments and stuff like that in the games I love. So yeah. Selfishly, I like to back my local game store when I can. Many of my local game stores when I can. Let's see here. Oh, we answered that one. That's a statement.
You're not following instructions.
I was talking about the weather. What's going, guys? What are you doing here? Oh, this is Frederick's. This is the question from the Discord I was talking about earlier. That's funny. I think so. Let's see. It's important, serious stuff. Frederick asks, any thoughts on why there are so many Brians, but only 2 Bobs and 1 Dan in the community? Brian Bait asked in the Discord. I was going to talk about that one.
I think there's more Dans and Daniels now, but yeah, there is a lot of Brians of all different spellings. You got him on that one. Oh, Daniel says there's 3 or 4 Daniels. Yeah, there's a couple Dan and Daniels, but I still think there's more Brians. I don't know what's happening. There's something in the water.
I don't know. First rule of Brian Club, we don't talk about Brian Club. I can't tell you any more than that. All right. Lloyd asked an interesting one. If you knew you only had the chance to play one more game in your life, what would that game be? This kind of falls with this is the question I usually ask people or think about answering, is if you could only take like 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 games to an island and you're trapped there for the rest of your life, what would those games be? And the problem is, if I could only play 1 game, I probably would play 0, because I wouldn't be able to choose and I would drive myself crazy.
I know what I would pick.
I love the freedom that I can choose. I love when people come in, Rob, should I buy this game or Too Many Bones? Tell me, I need to know now. And my answer is like, why do you have to make that choice? Just buy both. And if you can't buy both now, buy one later, buy the other one first. Pick one, roll a die, flip a coin, whatever. look at the mechanics. Because like, I don't like making that choice. If I want two things, I will just get them, unless it's redundant. But when people compare completely different types of games and stuff, I think it's hilarious. It's like, just get both? I don't know what to tell you. Do more research? I don't know. But anyways, I don't like to choose. So if I were to only pick one game, I would try to smuggle probably 5 of them in the box somehow. I would like throw away the useless insert and try to sneak them in there and take that to my island or to my jail cell where they're only letting me play one last game before they kill me. Whatever scenario you've built up here. But if I can only pick one game.
Now, I guess I
don't
have
know.
a little bit of, I need a little more context to this. Can I only play it one single time? Because that would be a different answer than I can only play one game all the way through.
And I think the question is usually to try to find out what you think the most replayable game is. But then again, every game becomes boring. Every game, not every game. Let me get that wrong. Some games would get boring if that was the only game you played and you had to play it every day, let's say. But even a game that you could get bored of playing like 10 days in a row, if you just spread those 10 days over a year, the game kind of never gets boring, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
As long as you do other things, which is an interesting topic. All this to not answer your question, I don't know.
I would say...
Because it's like, who's with me?
Me.
Is it just you?
I don't know. I'm just
This is the problem. This is the problem with this industry, right? It's like, if I can only pick one game, like, am I playing by myself? Do I have Mel with me? Do I have all my friends? Do I have a bunch of random board gamers? How much time do I have to play? There is so many variables that certain games, in my opinion, suck in certain situations, and certain games are awesome based on things that are going on and player count and who's at the table and what kind of mood I'm in and how I'm feeling and what I'm watching on TV right now and what the weather's like outside. That's a loaded question, and you're not going to get the answer for that one. But Mel, what were you going to answer?
I was going to say...
You're basically picking your favorite game, right? Is what the deal is?
But no, that's not what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And I'll say, so my game would be, if we had Frosthaven, it would be that, but it would be Gloomhaven at this point because we don't have Frosthaven. And I think that's just for the variety of it. Like, I really enjoy the game. I enjoy the mechanics. I think that scenarios feel different sometimes when you're doing different things in them, the upgrading, I like all of that. So I think I would just choose something like that for me, for the variety of it. Not necessarily my favorite game, but one that I could play a long period of time and not get bored with for myself. But that would be me.
I see some people giving their answer. Feel free to answer in the chat. I love to see what your answer is to this question that Lloyd's asking. If you knew you only had the chance to play one more game in your life, I'm assuming it's for the rest of your life or one more time, like on the last day you're about to die.
See, that would be a fully different question for me.
Yeah. Or if it's like you're now in purgatory forever and what game would you play? Like there's so many, like I have questions on Lloyd's question.
Yeah.
I need more info to be specific, but again, that's a loaded question.
The answer I gave is if I could only play one more game for my entire life. That's what I would choose.
Yeah,
but if it was the last game and I could only play it one more time, I don't even know.
Also, it's like, do I have to answer that right now? Or can I look through my collection first? Because there's games I'm probably forgetting about, to be honest. Like, there's probably a game I would pick that I can't even remember right now. But if I saw it, or compared to other games, I would pick. Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm not giving you an answer.
He tricked you. You put it up on the screen and didn't answer.
I know. I need more info before I lock myself in on that one. All you see is all this, like, all of a sudden everywhere it's like, oh my God, Rob said this was the one game.
Oh my gosh.
This game is obviously the most amazing. Rob, I bought that game you said would be the only game, you know? And it's like, oh God, what if you don't like that game? Oh no, I don't want to say it. Yeah, I don't want to be responsible for that. You heard it here first. Stacavra says, since you have no long, complex, intense games to currently cover, are you planning to play some more Cloudspire on stream? Winky face, no emotes here. Don't delete this YouTube.
Oh, that's so funny.
No, I'm not planning on playing any more Cloudspire on the stream. Not planning on it. Doesn't mean it won't happen.
Never say never, right?
Yeah. Right now, no, not planning on it, but it could. I do miss that game.
The cupboard's afraid to use emojis now. Now just use it.
Yeah, yeah, just so the YouTube doesn't delete it. I love it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh yeah, we answered some of these already. There's ones about like there's a bunch about Frosthaven.
Okay.
But yes, we backed it. Yes, we did back it ourselves. No press copies or anything like that. Yes, we don't have it. We don't have it yet. But I answered that one before. But there's other ones I just see repeated. But I don't know if those people are still here or they missed it or what. But I have another one here about a different game. Let's see. Mike James asked, "Did you back Forsaken?" I don't know what that is. I probably looked at that.
Forsaken.
I don't remember what that is, so probably not. So the answer is no. But I don't know what that is.
We didn't, but I'm trying to.
Let me see. No,
No.
I don't think.
Oh, this was out at. No, never mind.
That doesn't look familiar.
No,
I don't know what that is. No idea. I haven't even looked into
Somebody
it.
told us about this game though. I think in our Gen Con stream. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously, I never went and looked into it or at least I don't remember it.
Oh, it's a solo solitaire game.
Oh.
Okay. So we have not. No.
Okay. No. Mark's asking a cool one. I like these ones. I like coming to these ones just talking about like experiences in the hobby and not generally games, you know. But Mark's asking, do either of you two have any favorite / memorable gaming moments from this year? Mine is Gen Con. Going to Gen Con and meeting Stacy, Yogi, Janet, the rest.
We didn't meet Yogi.
Not Yogi. Wow. I'm reading the chat, the names. Sorry. Stacy. Did I say Stacy?
Yes.
Kanji. As I looked at right above is Yogi. Kanji.
And Janet.
And Janet. And gang. And like the first experience of being taught and playing two of them there were kind of similar. They are kind of the same experience ish, but playing and learning Dice Throne, Marvel Dice Throne, and Kanji spending the time to teach us, the random player that walked up and wanted to be taught also, and Kanji's like, yeah, get in here and learn that night or whatever, sitting there playing that. Gaming with people at Gen Con. Mel knows every year I always say I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I look forward to just meeting up with people and actually playing a game at Gen Con because I rarely have the time for it. But I love in the evening hiding in that gaming hall and either just chilling with your brain fried, talking about what people got, hanging out and chatting. But those moments, which also the Marvel Champions event where we got to play the early Marvel Champions thing and speak with Caleb and stuff, but also have Kanji playing with us, Stacy and Janet, everyone all together playing, like our crew just meeting up, whether we were playing a game or not. But I would say the gaming moments are like just icing on the cake. But those moments this year is something I've been saying for like 5 Gen Cons. This is the year. We're going to meet up with this person in the evening. We're going to play a game or let's play. And yes, we've played with randoms before. We met up with people and played. But just having that group, like connecting with and being a backbone of the trip and the convention, which wasn't really planned that much. Like I wanted that to happen when I created the private channel to talk and plan and discuss, but how it turned into like pictures of adventures on the way there and meeting up and having beers and all that.
Like our daily.
Gen Con was already magical Disneyland to me. And that just like that was something I've wanted it to be. And yeah, we went with like Kyle and Justin, everyone before, and Shamar, and we stayed in the same hotel and we met up in tournaments and we hang out in the evening. Those were awesome too.
Yeah, they were fun.
Those were awesome. But those are friends we play with at home already.
Yeah.
This was meeting up with people from all around North America.
And people who had never been there before.
Yeah, and it was cool. It was definitely
like
cool.
Seeing their experience, which was awesome. Yeah, so I would agree for sure. The other thing that I would add, which maybe isn't necessarily a gaming moment per se, but for me, there has been so many, and I can't even think of one like literally off the top of my head, but so many moments in the chat where we just like bust out laughing, like we can't control it. We say something wrong, somebody says something funny.
Like while we're gaming on stream.
While we're gaming on stream. Yeah, so it's not necessarily a gaming moment per se, but just the interaction with you guys in the chat sometimes are the funniest moments in the game. And
Yeah, that we're like laughing about after the stream in the evening. We
Yeah.
just start cracking up. We're like,
exactly.
I can't believe I slipped that word today.
Oh,
Or,
that was funny.
or
that
Mel
was
pulled
funny.
that card at that moment. Whatever it
Yeah.
is, you know, like it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, did that really happen today? Like,
Yeah. Or just like slip of the tongue, like when I said Necro-Comic-Con, and it just
Yeah.
became a thing that was just funny. And like it was just total slips of the tongue. Yeah. And anybody that knows what Rob is referring to also was very funny. New member to the channel,
Drew Barber, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome.
Drew's been supporting the channel before. Drew's been around. But yes, thank you for the continued
Thank
support,
you.
Drew. Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
Michael R knows. So that was so funny because I tried to hold it and act like I didn't hear it. So he started laughing.
Well, that word that rhymes with Bilbo Baggins? Bilbo?
And I was like, I'm just gonna bite my tongue, pretend I didn't hear it. And then when he stopped, I just couldn't.
I like
hold it
heard
anymore.
like I won't go into it again.
Oh my god!
But like that's one of those moments where like I'm mindlessly reading off screen, trying to pronounce words correctly, and I go into this zone where I'm not even understanding what I'm reading. I'm just trying to get through the lines, and it's like burning me out. And then, but I like because you what is it? You definitely can take in information faster than you can speak it out, right? Like
Yeah.
your speech can't keep up with your ears, basically. Like that's how your brain kind of works.
There's a processing delay.
Yes. So it's funny as I'm like reading out loud and my brain's reading but also hearing what I'm saying, and all of a sudden that links up and just like the brakes get put on.
And you just like, ooh.
Like I don't mind pronouncing things wrong and saying the wrong words. It happens a lot. But when those words all of a sudden are like, whoa, that's a word I should not be saying out loud ever, that I have no reason to say ever. I don't know why that word comes out. I don't know.
Oh, it was so funny.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I don't
moments
know.
like that are just
I don't know what happened.
memorable to me.
But it's
For
bound to happen again. Like it's
Oh, for sure.
more weird things like that as I'm going through weird fonts and reading web apps for games and stuff. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna slip up reading out loud on stream. It'll happen.
Yep.
Totally fine. And also try never to swear too. Like I swear like every day in normal talk. I try not to swear. So I'm always also trying to put myself through the non-swear filter while the cameras are on.
True.
So I'm always like constantly, my brain's processing what I'm saying and reading, and all these filters are happening. Every now and then, the filter process kind of like, whoopsie, the algorithm failed. Whoopsie.
Yeah. So those would be my memorable. Oh my gosh. I can't control myself.
We have another question here from Mike James. Will there ever be solo games played by Mel? I want there to be.
We've talked about it.
I think I'm getting close. I know you guys want it. I know Mel doesn't.
Well, no,
I don't care really.
You don't care that I don't want to?
I don't.
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
don't care really if you do ever. You don't ever need
I see what
to.
you're
There's
saying,
no
yeah.
pressure on it. But there is I think I found the perfect situation.
I think we know what it would be.
But yeah, I will leave that as a surprise. One day you're just gonna click on a Rob's Gaming Table stream, and it's gonna be Mel just sitting there. Well, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So now you have to click every single video. If that's not if that's not smart clickbait, I don't know what is.
So I guess to answer your question a little more, I'm getting more comfortable being alone on stream by doing my paint streams and that. So it definitely is helpful in getting myself more comfortable to do that.
Brian wants me to ask everyone in the chat, or us, I guess, too, anyone going to PAX U Friday? We were planning on it. It was never locked in for sure. I always said that. I am getting tons of emails on the press line, basically press emails about meeting up with people there and all this, but we just can't go. Like, no, we can't. I just made the decision maybe like a month ago or 3 weeks ago that just like, we just have too many games to play, too many things to do around here that like, I still have games from Gen Con that are staring at me that I'd love to play, and just losing like basically a week of time to go to a convention. And there wasn't really much pulling me to that convention other than just having a good time meeting with fans. But I mean like for business, like going to meet with publishers. It's all the same publishers that pretty much that were at Gen Con. They're all promoting the exact same projects. And we already met with so many there. We got so many games. We handled business cards. We made connections, all that stuff. I'm still going through that backlog and that I can't even, it's too much for me. But I still want to, it's on my bucket list to go to PAX U one of these years. I thought this was going to be the year. We got approved for press, got our badges covered. We just need to find a hotel and go. We started looking at hotels even.
We had a short list of hotels to pick and everything. But then just when it came down to it, it's like, it really was a time thing. Like money was fine. We'd spend the money on it, no problem. But it's just like, I feel like I just wanted to keep playing the games and streaming and doing what we do, getting back to the core of it. Us going to convention doesn't help everyone that watches the channel always, right? It's like, I don't know. But then again, us buying certain games don't help everyone that watches the channel either. So it's like, I don't know. But
we can't please everybody, obviously.
yeah, but Gen Con was like way more, I don't know how to say it. It delivered way more than it had any right to for us this year in many more ways than one. Some of the ways I already talked about. That I don't need another PAX U this year. Normally I go to Origins and then I'm just excited for Gen Con. Origins didn't scratch the itch enough. Then I go to Gen Con and then I'm even like, man, I want to go to PAX U because Gen Con was so fun. But this year it's just like, man, Gen Con created so much work and we still have games to play and fun games we bought recently and stuff. I just want to play games and stream on the weekend rather than going to a convention. That seems so weird. I'd rather work, even though it's still kind of work going to a convention, but like I still have tons of fun, obviously. But I just waited out like man, you don't understand. Every day I wake up trying to find an excuse in my mind to convince myself to go. And I get emails from publishers saying, hey, Rob, we're going. We want to show you this game. Come meet with us. And I'm just like, I wish I was going because I would love to go see that. But it's like, I just had to weigh like, nah, I'd rather just be home all that week, streaming, planning streams, learning games, just playing, hanging out, doing what we do. That's it. And I'm Gen Con scratched my itch till next Gen Con, I think. Yeah, I might get the itch to go to Origins too. We'll see. But after last Origins, though, it didn't look like it's they're on the decline, it seems, not growing. But yeah, the PAX U seems cool. Hope everyone who's going has a blast. Maybe next year we'll see you there, but this year is a no. Obviously, as I scheduled streams this weekend, but yeah. But yeah, well, I was flipping and flopping. Even when I sat down to schedule streams this week, like Monday and Tuesday, and planning the week and planning future, I was like, man, instead of making these thumbnails right now, I could easily just book one of those hotels and we just change our plans. We had someone to watch Chelsea and you know, our daughter, and we could go and yeah, it was all covered. It's all lined up. I was just trying to make the smart decision of like, you know, I would have so much fun, but like the stress it also brings, it's like, you know, I'm stressed still about the backlog of games and streaming, and let's just keep grinding through it and having some fun. And yeah, there you go. And I have you guys to hang out with in chat, so that's also awesome. Okay. Cage is asking, what is your most frustrating thing about the hobby?
Reading all the rule books.
Yeah. Keeping the rules straight now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I keep thinking of a solution. My solution before, when I didn't do this full time, was just to focus on the one game. When we're streaming every weekend, just play the same game we played last weekend. Let's just work on one game and only play that game till we're done. You know, Game of Thrones, the card game tournament's coming up. Let's only play that game, only stream that game, only talk about that game, only live with that game, play that game after it's done. Let's go back to another board game or play a new board game. But I've been trying to do like variety on the channel and got in this loop of like, I got to play 3 different things in a week and all this stuff. And like,
but still be preparing for the week after so that we're ready for that week when it comes
It's
out.
crazy. So the frustrating thing is keeping all the games straight, but I think I've created that problem for myself.
Yeah.
And I can fix that problem by just focusing on one game at a time, like many content creators who play the same game. Most content creators will only play a game once and move on. But I don't ever want to be that. But I should probably like, there could be a world where Frosthaven comes and I literally play nothing else. If I've gotten all the games done that I asked for from publishers and publishers sent me, I could just play it could become a Frosthaven only channel for a few months or a year, and see how that goes. Yes, some people may stop supporting the channel who are not interested in that game. Some viewers may just disappear. The channel may shrink if that's the case, because I am in this complex of like trying to please everyone, but like also please myself, and it's like an ongoing battle. But yes, trying to keep all the games straight, but it's like a never-ending problem that I need to fix.
I do think, though, however, it gets easier. The more rule books we read and the more games we play, it does make it easier to get games to the table because we can relate mechanisms to other games we've played.
But it goes back to that quality over quantity thing. As I start jumbling them and forgetting like how many cards I need to draw and what's this keyword mean in this game, what's this simple rule, and how to set up the game. Like I start forgetting these minimal things because I just set up 6 other games this month that I like. They're all different, but they're similar, and it's like that's the most frustrating thing. Is trying to keep all the rules straight for a game. And then the problem is also it could help by just the human brain and memory is like just dump some of those games, get them out of your memory, which I do. I've now gone to the thought of like exactly like Cloudspire and Too Many Bones get brought up. If you put Too Many Bones in front of me, I wouldn't know where to even start. I just try to dump that in my memory because yes, I could read the book and within 30 minutes, I could be a pro at that game again, I'm sure, because I played so much times. It's just like getting back on a bike. But right now I try to forget about these games that they even exist. Don't worry about the rules because I don't need them haunting me and ruining my other games I'm trying to keep straight. So that's the other struggle with learning new games all the time and trying different games. I probably should not be doing that. And I need to, maybe 2023 is like the goal is to scale back. I might not reach out to any publishers. I might say no to every game they offer, you know, just so that I can only focus on the handful of games I want to play and the games even that I've already played a bunch on the channel. And just play games and stick with some of the same games I'm having fun with and we're having fun streaming and we're exploring. But also, there's the struggle that leads to that having to read multiple books is interest from viewers, right? So there's those that come in here and say, when are you going to play Too Many Bones again? It's like, go look at the last few Too Many Bones videos we were playing. Maybe they didn't have as many views as the previous ones. So when viewership starts to drop and watch minutes drop, maybe over time the watch minutes caught up. But sometimes I stream a game that had lots of views and I'll look and I'll go, there's only like 20 people here. But this game had like 10,000 views on the last time we played it, you know? And it's like, oh, okay, people aren't interested in it anymore. So I'm going to try to find something that maybe they're interested in because I got to play games also that people are interested in on the channel and play games that I'm interested in. So there's that like struggle. So that's the most frustrating thing is trying to keep all the games I want to play straight and read the rule books and memorize the rules and all that stuff. So yeah. But compared to other things in previous careers and jobs, like that is not a bad thing. Like,
yeah, reading a rule book is definitely better than doing any report for work.
yes. So, you know, that's my complaint. Understand it's like, this is like not that bad. This is like first world gamer problems over here.
But we're
it's
answering the question and
yeah. Yes, yes.
That is the most frustrating part.
On the level of serious frustrations, it's like, it's not even a bad
Now, though,
thing.
would you add a little bit that you have to wait for me to paint games to that frustration?
No, I'm not going to answer that question. That was not in the actual submission here. I'm not answering any questions that are not in front of me here.
Ask questions you don't want.
I'm not falling on that trap.
Because that is part of the frustration, right? You get a game, you're like, oh, I want to play this. And it's like, oh, it's got a 60-page rule book and 40 minis I got to paint. All right, 2 months later, we'll play it.
Okay, as a handful of questions here, we'll try to rip through them as we have about 6 to 10 minutes-ish left. Holbold's asking, looking back on 2022, hey, I think we should only answer these kind of questions on the next Q&A,
okay,
our year-end Q&A.
Good to think about.
But for now, I'll answer it now. Looking back on 2022, which game or games did you two especially enjoy this year?
Now, one problem is games do blend together, and we may have played them last year, but I think we played them this year.
And yeah, I honestly sometimes forget what month I'm in, how long ago I played this game until I go to schedule the next stream for it. Like, for example, Arkham Horror. We go to play Arkham Horror LCG. It feels like I played it 2 months ago. I look and it was like 6 or 8 months ago. And I was like, what? Time flies. But some of my favorite games that I want to get back to the table that we dabbled with or taste tested at Gen Con or after Gen Con, because I know for sure that happened this year. One game that I really need to find time to get it back to the table, and I'm excited that they announced the second set for, is Soulforge Fusion.
Oh, yeah.
Soulforge Fusion. I had so much fun with that card game. I want to play it more. That was a surprise one for me. I had lower expectations for that game. I thought it was just copying, like trying to be a Me Too for Keyforge. A no-name bargain bin version of Keyforge, but it ended up being its like own unique game to me. And that one surprised me. And I saw recently they announced the second set, and I want to buy more of it because it also got delayed at retail. I was looking to add it on orders for multiple orders, but it never was in stock. It wasn't out yet, but I know it's released now. It's at local retailers. So next time I do an order, probably around the holidays, I'm gonna add some more to the order. I want to crack some packs on stream and play some more matches of that. But that one was a surprise for me.
For me, and we didn't play too much of it, and I wish, is Dice Throne Adventure for me. I really, really, really enjoyed that game.
I was gonna play that
and
one
we
solo.
scratched the surface of that.
Yeah, I was gonna play that one solo on stream, but I think I'm gonna wait and play that one with Mel.
Yeah, I'm really interested.
I don't think I'll enjoy it playing it that much solo. I'll start to see the weaknesses in it, and I'll start getting frustrated, and I don't think I'll get through a whole campaign, to be honest, because it's based on a lot of luck.
Yeah.
But I love playing it with others, with like Mel and Kyle, having a blast with the luck-filled random like.
It was so fun rolling the die to see what you were gonna get.
Yep.
That was fun.
I know what I'm getting into with that game, but
oh, I'm gonna put a side note too. I really enjoyed Massive Darkness too.
That game was better than I expected.
Yeah, that one I really enjoyed that.
But I wouldn't say I especially enjoyed it. It was better than I expected.
I'm trying to think of what I played this year and kind of like games that I really enjoyed of what we played this year.
But especially enjoyed playing.
Like I really had fun with that game.
I would have to like look at our list of streams and stuff because probably like I played it on stream.
Yeah, there might be something else that I'm missing, but those are just two games that come to my mind when I think about games that we played this year that I had a lot of fun with. And maybe it was just like you said, the company, like being able to play that beer and pretzels kind of game. And that was fun.
Okay, hold on. I'll try it quickly.
This would be an interesting question for next time, like to know ahead of time a couple questions like this.
I'm not gonna remember.
No, I know.
Oh, Final Girl. Other than like the last scenario, but like Final Girl that I played earlier in the year and some of the ones I played recently. I thought it would feel like just a copy of Hostage Negotiator. Yeah, some of it does. But for a solo game on the theme on that one actually had a lot of fun with. Just scrolling backwards.
Oh, Tobolt says good. I bought Massive Darkness 2 after watching your guys' stream, and this is Tobolt's question, right?
Yeah, for a beer and pretzel, like Dungeon Crawler is quality. Yes, there's some fiddliness to it, but they definitely improved on the previous one based on what I read, and it's definitely a better Zombicide, that's for sure.
Which Zombicide is also
again, I had my bar lowered for that one, so it exceeded my expectations, but understand they were expected very low. But the group I was playing with, we were having fun on stream. The chat was awesome. Like we were having a good time with that one. It definitely was on the lighter end and more fun and goofy, but it was still good. It was a nice rolling big mountain fistful of dice. Felt good.
Those are just two games for me that came to mind when I think of that.
It had its ups and downs, but I'm seeing Jurassic World Legacy of Isla Nublar. We talked about our feelings on that one. It was up and down, but like overall, that game exceeded my expectations too. But they were up there, but then slowly dropped over time. But when we actually played through it, yeah, there was definitely some negatives with that game. But that one, like if you just expect to play a Jurassic version of Pandemic Legacies, like it felt like that's what they did. And there was some fun moments, and I definitely had fun playing that game with you for sure.
Definitely.
That was one I didn't dread sometimes. Sometimes I did, but sometimes like it really had some high highs for me. It was fun.
I think had we played that faster, then it wouldn't have been as fun. Like delaying it once a week was definitely.
Well, we also took some more breaks between too. But yeah, definitely I would never binge that game all in a row. I would get a game group together and play that, even if it was just two people, and play that one like, once every couple weeks or whatever. And it's fun. I liked it. But I'm a Jurassic Park fan too. At least the first one. And it definitely had some good nods for fans in there. It was fun.
There were definitely other games that were probably super fun. I'm just not thinking about them at the moment.
I'm scrolling through right now looking. Oh, I think it happened around the beginning of this year. Lord of the Rings LCG. Getting that game back to my table after a 7-year hiatus.
Is that this year?
I believe it's around the start of this year, no?
I don't remember.
When they came out with the revised core set, wasn't it like around the beginning or maybe the end of last year?
Maybe.
But I feel like we got into it as the year started. Maybe it was late last year we got the core set. But I feel like getting the campaigns going and that little playing it solo, Dark of Mirkwood, I feel like this year we played a lot of it. For a game that I thought, like I collected it forever and then stopped buying it, and then 7 years passed, I thought I would never play the game again. That they rebooted it like recently. They started releasing new product this year, but I feel like we played it a bunch earlier in the year and some recently. And I just like, I love playing that game. Even when it frustrates me, like that game pulls me right back to when we got in the hobby.
I felt like that was last year, but you're probably right.
I feel like it was around the start of the year, but maybe it was. War of the Ring was cool. The whole
that was
experience.
cool.
Playing with the designer at Gen Con, seeing the game, getting an early copy, getting to play with it on channel. That was fun. Playing War of the Ring, the card game.
Oh, Janice says I got my copy end of January 2022. Okay, so it was
Yeah,
this year.
yeah.
It just feels like so long
That's what
ago.
I'm saying. When you ask me about
Wow.
what this year you played, when I start to think, I'm like, I can't even keep straight. Like, how far are we into the year? When did we play something?
Yeah,
My concept of time.
together.
Yeah, once you pass, we're in the after times of COVID. Like, I like lose track of time. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm just scrolling through streams here. I'm now in the summer, just scrolling back.
Yeah, War of the Ring was this year for sure because I was Gen Con.
Yep. Which I see right here. That's why I'm bringing it up. The Marvel Champions Spider-Verse stuff, or the whatever that was with like all the Spider-Man and Spider-Ham and all the Spider-Man box and stuff. That was this year. That I loved. It was fun, that cycle. I had a blast getting back into Marvel Champions with that stuff. I mean, playing Imperial Assault 1 versus many, I mean, some of it was lame. I'm not really into 1 versus many games, but that was still fun playing with you and Kyle for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a blast. Most weeks. Burn Cycle was solid.
Oh, that was this year too, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Burn Cycle was solid.
Was fun.
I really liked that game. And I never really played stealth games before, so I think that was a good one to start with. I mean, maybe it's not the one you should buy first, but... Oh, we were playing Folklore this year. That was this year. That was fun. Folklore the Affliction. Had some fun streams with that. That game didn't hold for me, but it definitely was fun experiencing it at the beginning, but I just don't think that game really had like long legs. It definitely has some flaws for sure.
I'd have to go through the whole list.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I know, but before the next one, just so I have an idea of games that we played.
Set a Watch, that was fun.
That was fun. That was a fun game.
A Battle of 5 Armies, we played that this year.
That's what Yogi just said.
Yeah,
wow,
getting that game back to the table. And that game got back to the table after like 10 years of owning it and playing it. We practiced it, getting ready for a stream. And then we just never found the time with work and life and everything got busy. But Mel and I learned that game together, practiced it on our table at our past house. I remember it.
Yep.
And we were practicing it, trying to get the rules down, feel very comfortable with it, and then do a stream. And then it just got put in the box and delayed, and then we just never did. And then they re-released it. So we're like, well, if they're re-releasing it, I know people can find it now. I'm going to get it back to the table. And the Rings of Power was coming. I was getting hyped for Lord of the Rings. Yes, the Battle of 5 Armies. That fits right in with Lord of the Rings LCG. A game I gave up on, thought I would never play it again. Thought I would never get to the channel. I just was like, a little part of me inside just was missing. But getting that back to the table was crazy. G.I. Joe the card game, that was fun.
I'm not gonna lie, there were so many fun games
Nemesis.
that we played
This year was Nemesis. We finally got Nemesis to the table. Played it 4-player, 3-player, solo.
Many years ago.
Not many, maybe like 2 years before we played it. I feel like we got that one at end of 2019, and then we were lining up to play with everybody, and then COVID happened. Yeah, and you were painting it, and then we're like, okay, COVID happened. Now we can't play with anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely this year we played the Hobbit box of Lord of the Rings LCG. Went through that campaign, those 2 campaigns, or the 2 boxes campaign. Yeah, it's crazy. We should be doing this in the last stream of the year because it's like I'm gonna do the same thing. We'll scroll through and we'll get nostalgic about it.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up on screen too. We can scroll
things
through.
I don't remember doing this year.
Oh, this year I also did my Dungeons and Dragons streams.
Wasn't that
my digital Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh man, I've played D&D. Yeah, I have. I played on my arcade.
Wasn't that April Fool's? No.
Yeah, it was around April. Yeah. Well, February. No, I did it in February, and then again in April, I think, or something. Or no.
One of them we did together, didn't we?
We played another Dungeons and Dragons on the table. Yes, we did play.
That one was the February.
100% we played.
Can't remember.
Dungeons and Dragons on the board game table.
We played that one.
Mel and I have played D&D. Yes, we have. I also played solo D&D. I have streams proving it. I swear I did. Yeah, there's Lord of the Rings revised core set stuff in January.
Okay.
Ancient Chronicles, Sword and Sorcery Ancient Chronicles. We were playing that. I probably started it like in the previous.
Probably started at the holidays.
Yeah, but we were still playing it end of January.
Candyland was this year. Yep.
What?
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 I don't know.
Whoa, Daniel. We never played that.
Good
We never played
luck
that.
trying to find it.
Yeah. Nice
Only
try.
those who know.
Yep. Good luck. Our New Year's was playing Terraforming Mars.
that was so
Terraforming
fun.
Mars, Ares Expedition, going through Aeon's End, playing some Aeon's End at New Year's. That was fun.
That was fun.
But that's where it started. That was the start of the year. So yeah, holidays are coming up. Mel has some time off work. We're gonna crank through some games. We're gonna have some fun, play some more casual fun games. Gonna play some hardcore games. So yeah, we're just gonna be streaming quite a bit probably over the holidays. There might be some time. Obviously, we take off, for family and self-reflection and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, definitely more streams coming up over the holidays. We'll be streaming a bunch more, and look forward to our Q&A. We'll do our Q&A, year-end Q&A, of course, answering more questions, talking about streams, games we're gonna play, all that kind of stuff. But let me look through. I should end it, but let me just see if there's any cool questions. There's talks about Rob and Melcon and a Rob's Gaming Table convention asked by multiple people. I skipped over all those ones, but there's a few of them that was come up. Brian's asking what non-campaign games we both enjoy.
Non-campaign games. That's a harder question. I really enjoy campaign games.
Yeah.
I would say non-campaign games. I really enjoyed Radlands.
Oh, Radlands.
I
yes.
really enjoyed that.
Radlands was super fun. And again, Final Girl, that would fit in there. I've been playing that lately, having fun with it. I really enjoyed that one.
I'm trying to think.
But yeah, some of our top games, non-campaign technically, is I can think of my top adventure list I did and my top games all time. Like Game of Thrones, the board game, 2nd edition, Hexplore It. Too Many Bones technically has a campaign,
Yeah, it's hard, yeah.
but I like playing that one not campaign. It's still fun. There's so many games that are non-campaign that we love. I like some of the Euro-y kind of games, again, Raiders of the North Sea, Architects of the West Kingdom.
Yeah,
those are some of my favorites to pull out with family and friends. To just play. I could play those two. I could play anytime. I love the quality, the rules, the complexity of it is just in that sweet spot. I can learn it quick, teach it quick, play a session of it. Doesn't overstay its welcome. Not a campaign. I put it away, pull it out months later, a year later, and still have a blast. So those two are super quality. Champions of Midgard, I put in that same category. Those are my worker placement kind of one-off games. Don't need to be a campaign, but I'm always down to play. Scythe. Yes,
I love
Scythe has a campaign, which is amazing to say. But I love Scythe, one of my favorite games ever. I can play that anytime. I love Scythe so much. Haven't played it in a criminally long time. But that is one of the most quality, one of my favorite games that shaped me, blew me away. Yeah, I just love Scythe. Something about all the things that are in Scythe and how that game influenced me and surprised me and hooked me. Scythe, yes. Scythe is one of my favorite. But then again, there was a campaign, which again was awesome. And oh man, that was so good. But anyways, yeah, Brant, that's a question I can go on forever. I'm just thinking of random things on top of my head, but yeah, there's probably a huge list of non-campaign games that I freaking love.
Yeah. I'd have to think about it though for a minute because it's easier for me to pick campaign games than non.
Locator. This is the last question. Is Trick Shot your most anticipated game ever, and do you think the Penguins can ever beat the Ducks? Just kidding. No, it's not my most anticipated game ever, but it was something.
But I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for it. It was something unique, definitely on crowdfunding recently. That was a game based on ice hockey. Again, that's a personal kind of thing with me. Obviously, that doesn't excite everybody, and I don't expect everyone to go and run and buy a hockey themed board game.
I think a couple people did though because you mentioned it.
But well, they probably didn't know about it.
They probably didn't know about it.
And I thought, hey, this is cool. I'm going to shine some light on something different here. And it already has been produced and it was delivered and people loved it, so it was kind of like a safe bet. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Anyways, I'm going to call it there. Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for all the questions. We'll do this again in about a month ish around the holidays like we do every year. Go up to our cabin. We'll have some fun. We'll be in the the holiday cheer, having a good time, answer some questions, reflect on the year. But thank you everyone for the support. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the questions. Mel, any final words?
No, just thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
All right. Thank you. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye, everyone.